Hey, it's me, Puppet DM, and I'm here to tell you all about the sponsors we have here at the Wandering Society. We're sponsored here by Mage and Press, makers of a bunch of 5th edition supplements, like the Book of Kobold or their series of new classes. And don't forget, Arcmada, the amazing sci-fi fantasy campaign setting for the world's greatest role-playing game. Be sure to check them out at store.mageandpress.com. Up next, we have Roll20. It's the platform we use here at the Wandering Society to play all of our games. It's easy to use, intuitive, and it now comes with dark mode. Be sure to check them out at roll20.net. We're also sponsored by R. Talsorian Games. R. Talsorian Games make great RPGs, and they've been doing so since the early 90s. Check their books. They've got Cyberpunk Red, which Simon tells me has been played here extensively, Castle Falkenstein, which also has been played here, and The Witcher, which has also been. Okay, we get it! Check them out at your FLGS or online at rtalsoriangames.com. Have you ever wanted to wake up and smell the coffee? Well, now you can with this next sponsor, Found Familiar. Get yourself some damn good coffee at foundfamiliar.com and use the code on the screen to get 15% off. What do you mean I can't drink coffee? What the fuck is felt? And we couldn't end this segment without talking about our good friends at Die Hard Dice. That's right. As a Dice affiliate, we are proud to partner with Die Hard Dice to bring you only the best in shiny click-clacks. Click-clacks? What is... Ow. You can check their ever-growing collection over at dieharddice.com and use the link below to get 15% off. You're putting this all on me? I better get a cut. Good evening. Is my microphone on? Yes, it is. Good. Regret. We all have done something we regret in our short, mundane existence. Years after the fact, we wake up in the middle of the night, long-buried memories of shame floating back to the surface, come to haunt us like so many vengeful poltergeists. We brush it off, try to rationalize the shame as the mistakes of careless youth, or find means to bury the memory back, deep, where it can never surface again. But what about the immortal undead? How many of their past mistakes still haunt them nightly? Decades, centuries even of shame that cannot be forgotten no matter how hard they try. It would stand to reason that the kindred would do everything in their power to avoid regret, if only to avoid being plagued by yet another phantom of their past. But what if they cannot avoid it? What does a lapse in judgment can cost to a vampire? We're about to find out. I'm Simon at Wandering DM, and I'll be your storyteller for tonight. Now, let's continue on with our story, shall we? Hello. Welcome. It's Monday, which means Blood-Sucking Monday. And we're back for episode 4 of our Vampire the Masquerade chapters prologue. Wow, there's a lot of words in that title. Basically, episode 4 of Montreal by Night. I have with me a cast of incredible role players who play incredible vampires. Let's just introduce them very quickly, tell us who you are, who you're playing, and then we will delve back into where we left off. This time we'll start with the person right above me on the overlay, and we're going to go from left to right. So we'll start with Trooper.
Hello, I had to look at the stream to figure out who that was, and I was like, oh, it's me.
I'll put them in Zoom, yeah.
Hi, I am Trooper SJP, and I am playing Lucky St. Clair, and St. Clair Lucky Dixon is his name, and Lucky is his nickname. You know how it is, and I'm doing well. I'm feeling fine. I just finished my cream soda, which I probably should have paced myself some, but that's all right. And I've got Pez, and I'm here with really great people, and I'm feeling good. Lucky, who I'm playing, is a Bruja who is currently not feeling much of anything because Lucky is not in control of the situation at the moment, and is also at 4 hunger, and is also under the effect of a messy critical and a couple of bestial fails, and is like, you know, just in a space. It's cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and has celerity and potence up, and just good. It's about to have a conversation with a mortal human.
I don't know why you needed to point out celerity and potence. This is a dialogue scene.
Yeah. We're having just a chat.
Yeah.
But you don't expect this guy to talk back, do you? Because Ori is not expecting this guy to talk back.
Just a very fast and forceful conversation. That's all.
Talking involves making noises. I think noises will be made.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
won't be understandable.
Yet we all say that, and Trooper could still roll another bestial failure. Third one in a row.
I could.
Our next...
We don't know.
Our next kindred, Flory. Deirdre, hi.
Hi, everyone. I am your friendly neighborhood Prax. Thank you again for having me. I get to play Florica, Flory Winters, our Ravnos for the evening. And again, would like to remind everyone playing at home, the Ravnos who is here to do a murder is not the one causing the problem. Hashtag not the Ravnos' fault. And is going to be hashtag the Ravnos fixed it. Mostly, probably. I fixed it a little bit already. I'll fix it some more later. It'll be fun. And unlike Lucky, I'm still in control of myself.
Yeah.
And last but not least, the vampire with plausible deniability because he has alibis for not being there tonight. Hope, hi.
Hi. Plausible deniability is my drag name. Yeah, no, that's the thing that's going to happen. Welcome, folks, to Montreal. A Montreal that has a lot of power vacuums. And unlike many other kindred cities or places where the kindred have taken root, this is one where there's been a lot of slate cleaning. And I think this is possibly the first significant instance in recent memory for Montreal of something like this happening. And the kindred are not prepared. They have not done their due diligence. No one has pushed to have those influences, to have those hands in those pies. And it's going to be terrifying and exciting to see what comes of this.
So last session, the coterie split into two, with Arthur staying at home and beginning to plot out the whole conspiracy chart and trying to figure out what exactly is Val playing at. Meanwhile, Florian Lucky went to a college party. They went to a kegger and tried to get information on where to find Ezekiel Luongo. And you learned that he had left the party on a dare to go and steal a trophy from a trophy case of a nearby CJEP. You went to that CJEP and you crept in the gymnasium. You saw the lights of flashlights. You heard the muttering of a bunch of drunken teenagers, or new adults, we should say. And then the beast overtook Lucky. The need to hurt, perhaps, this person who put the whole community at risk. Maybe. Maybe not. We're not sure. But Lucky's not thinking straight.
No.
And he pounced on those guys with a...
I would like to clarify, he only
Clutch.
pounced on one guy.
Yeah. But he
But I surprised them all.
yeah.
Or did
But you only pounced on one. It is an important
Fair.
distinction.
Just fair.
With a clutch illusion from Flory. The kids now think that there's a cougar, and not the cool type of cougar, loose in the gymnasium. And we ended our last session with just a close-up of Lucky's opened mouth, fangs out. And we'll start right back where we left off with Trooper. Can you give me a bite attack roll?
I would like to rouse the blood to increase my strength, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Thank you. Let me make a rouse check. I have failed all of them so far, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. I will never mind you actively wanting to get hungry.
Okay, I will increase my strength by 1.
I'll remember everyone, you regain a point of superficial willpower damage if you've
Yes.
if you had taken one.
Or 2. It's your resolve or your composure. Up to that, I believe it is.
From what I checked in the book last time, because I needed to recheck a thing, but it's only 1 per... At the start of a session, you regain 1. And then I think there are ways to like heal that afterwards with your powers and stuff.
Okay. I would like to bite this person for my turn this round is what I would like to do. If that's okay.
Yeah.
If you don't mind. Because that'd be cool.
If I remember correctly, we had already determined what everybody else was doing on their turn.
No, because it's a brand new round.
It's a
Was it?
brand new round.
Oh yeah, because grabbing him was the last round. That's true.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and my last round was to make, because I had warning, I stepped out of the way and then made everybody think that he was a cougar.
which means that for this round, Ezekiel.
He's currently grappled.
Yeah, let me see something. Ezekiel will try to push the cougar, now turned into a person, off of him. That's going to be his action, to try that.
Cool.
The other college students are running away. Flory, what will be your action?
And the college students who are running See, here they were panicked though. No, because they failed because they panicked. They couldn't do anything.
That is correct.
For one turn, they couldn't do anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the turn that they couldn't do anything, and then I get to go first.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
So they can't run away yet. So my action is to shift this to, instead of what was a very quick pop of chemistry, is now a Fata Morgana, where there's, debris down the hall and a cougar, and I want them to see this thing. Well, I want them to see what looks like and hear sounds of what sounds like an extra one, so that they're panicked and they can't move, so I can pick their pockets. I need those phones.
Yes. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I need them not to move.
Can you first give me that roll for Fata Morgana?
Yep. And so it's going to be a 3 because it's sight and sound. But they're not touching. I'm not getting involved with touch at the moment because he's separate from them. So it's only 3. So it's only a 3. Unless you have another reason why it needs to go up higher.
No. I mean, there's no need to add smell to it. They probably won't even remember it.
Yeah.
No, I need them to be able to say, we saw a freaking cougar rip apart their friend. That's all I need them to do, and then be panicked and have them lost their phones. The losing of their phone, I'm also currently hidden from the cameras because I plotted where they were, so I would remember that. So that's 3 successes out of 3.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Good. Oh, wow. Why is my green screen not working? I just realized that.
Oh. That's true. It's not working.
That's kind of
Now it
weird.
is.
Yeah. Okay. So, you remember, though, being an experienced Ravnos, that the security cameras aren't going to see any of this.
No, but I can fix that after the fact.
Yeah.
I don't need them running out to the cops and saying, oh my God, there's this dude who's biting.
No, right now they're only freaking out. It looks like one of them got a seizure, threw himself on the ground. Mind you, Trooper Lucky is over him. But
Lucky looks like a cougar. To their senses, it sounds like a cougar. It looks like a cougar. He got pounced on by a cougar, and they're freaking out. And that there are sounds further down the hallway, like there might be more than one. So I want them to freak out and stay in one place. And because they fail, basically they can't do anything.
Well, with the Fata Morgana,
With the Fata Morgana, I succeed, and then
they still need to. So if they have a reason to suspect it's fake, they have a role to disbelieve it. But otherwise, no, they believe it is, and they'll react accordingly. But their turn is spent freaking out because of the first chemistry. So that brings us to Lucky and the attack roll.
Yeah, I just note in what is it? 158. It says at the beginning of a session, a character can remove an amount of superficial damage to their willpower up to their composure or resolve. Use the highest from their willpower track.
My bad. Yeah.
That's only superficial though. Okay. So I'll be rolling a strength plus melee. Strength plus brawl, pardon me, because I'm fighting. So that will be
and you don't have the extra penalty to bite because you're grappling.
Exactly.
Correct. I just have the -2. Oh, that means I have to cancel this. I've got to do the long way.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got 4 for strength, 4 for brawling, +1 for potence. That's 9.
9 dice, and your difficulty for this is, I believe, just his. He can't even really fight.
So I'll say 7 because I'm removing the 2.
Yeah.
Penalty. And what is the bite difficulty?
Page 213. That's what I wanted to get.
to tell you all something in a second, perhaps.
So you would need, in the case of this particular person.
It's against his defense, right?
Mm-hmm. So right now it's only one.
Okay.
You only need one success.
Okay. And the difference then will be damage and all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the bite itself deals, I think it's 2 aggravated damage.
Messy critical. I'm in it, by the way.
Oh.
Let me make sure this is right, because there is a 10 there. No, that is not a messy critical, because I did not get 2 10s.
Hmm?
You have to have 2 10s.
For a messy crit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you have to have 2 10s, and one of them has to be in the
blood.
hunger dice.
And the hunger, yeah.
Yeah.
And
And I only have 1 10,
Sorry.
so that is not enough. 5?
It still is 5 successes, I mean.
Yeah. Because you don't get the 10s do not count as double by themselves. You have to have a pair, and then if you get a pair, then they count as 4. They only count as double in pairs, and that's when you actually get a crit.
No, actually, in which 1 or more 10s appears on a hunger die.
It's any time it's 1. It's any time it's on a hunger die.
Right, but I believe a critical only counts when you have 2 10s.
No, messy critical win in which 1 or more 10s appears on a critical. The character succeeds as a reticle with the character.
Right, but a critical is 2 10s, not 1. Because they changed it.
That's true. Yeah, why isn't that in the same section? But yes, you need 2 10s to have the 10s double and become
win,
4.
And because I was looking, I was like, oh, I see. You have to have, and it's the same thing with a bestial fail. There's got to be, you have to fail the roll and have a 1 in the hunger dice, and for a crit.
The example on the page above shows it, but the explanation doesn't. Anyway.
Yeah. So
not quite messy.
Not quite messy. However, I can do an automatic activation.
That's a lot of damage anyway.
But I'm going to activate Brutal Feed.
Oh yes, of course.
For free for 1 feeding. I'll just read this out loud so that people can know what it is. Known as the Savage Kiss, this power allows the user to employ an unholy inner strength when draining a victim. In mere seconds, the attacker swallows torrents of blood while mauling the victim. The result is an efficient, if messy, feeding, often employed in the heat of battle, where the mangled remains of the victim can be disguised. The vampire can drain a human completely within a single turn. Every point of hunger slaked causes 1 point of aggravated health damage to the victim as their blood vessels burst and organs bruise and rupture internally. Using Brutal Feed on a vampire doesn't, it's fine for them. And in combat, Brutal Feed comes immediately after a successful brawl attack using fangs. The victim first takes the bite damage, and then the damage from this power. Armor does not protect, as the wounds are, mainly internal. So I would like to drain all of it. All of it. All of it. All of it. I have 5 that I need to drain at least 4 to just clear up my hunger.
Yeah, but winning a roll with containing at least 1 critical success is called a critical win, or sometimes just a critical.
There.
Yeah, but a critical success needs to have the 2 10s.
128.
Which one? 128?
As a result of a 10 on 2 regular dice is a critical success. A winning roll containing at least 1 critical success is a critical win. It gets very messy, and I do not like the way this is written, and this is all very messy.
Okay, I get it.
Wait, where are we?
Page 120.
Thank you.
this is my plea. Have an editor read for comprehension your rules, no matter
So
what.
criticals, as a result of 10 on 2 regular dice, it's a critical success. A critical success counts as 2 additional successes. Winning roll containing at least 1 critical success, which is 2 dice, is called a critical win, or sometimes a critical, right? So you to be a critical success or critical win, you must have a roll 10 on 2 regular dice.
We'll leave it as not messy anyway,
Yeah.
but it's going to get messy this time.
Oh.
For sure.
Because I'm going to it's not going to be, I'm going to just,
it's going to
going to be bad.
not
gonna
look
just be
great. Yeah, it's not I forgot the term for it. But yes.
Pleasant. Because how much blood does this person have? I mean, I'm going to just...
Well, I mean, technically the same amount of blood as any other human.
It's like, what, 8?
I mean, isn't it like 10 liters?
It's
I just meant
8
blood
quarts.
points.
I just know from the description there's going to be internal organ damage.
Yes.
Rupturing.
This is a problem.
Yes.
I'm working on it.
So
They think it's a cougar.
the bite does 2,
Mm-hmm.
and then each point of blood that you take, or point of blood, anyway, you empty him.
Yeah.
Which means that you're going to
Completely.
regain your full hunger, goes down even to 0
Yep.
because you have killed someone.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm also like ripping his body into chunks. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is just like my fangs in, like, you will not find any fang marks on this person because I'm going to just...
What was your hunger at?
4. I was hoping to get all the way to 5, just to drain even more, but 4.
No, he dies before you even have time to start plucking pieces of him apart like you would a chicken wing.
Yeah.
Like
there's flaying involved and just like ripping.
Oh, you're getting like your fingers in there. You're just
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's it is
finger licking good.
Much blood. There's so much blood everywhere. I mean, if you like, hey, you know what? That could be a cougar attack, because I'm gonna tell you what, this is not like, oh no, there's a body with a vampire bite. No, this is I'm not even quite sure body how that works, you know? I mean, because it is
for the time being, Flory is not quite aware of the extent of the damage, as you wanted to pick their pockets, right?
Oh yeah, I need those. I need the phone.
Can you make? We'll make like one check for everyone. The more successes you have, the more phones you the more pockets you manage to pick. Doesn't mean that it's just phones in there, or that they have phones. Period.
It's 2014.
But-
Kids still have phones.
Yeah. But there's 4 of them. So if you score 4 successes, you have time to go through everyone, like to rifle everyone's pockets.
Okay.
And that would be Dex and Subterfuge. No.
Stealth.
I keep forgetting the stats in this one.
I mean, I also have larceny, but
It's larceny.
Not quite. Okay.
Dex and
can I-
larceny.
Can I get a bonus for them not seeing because I don't exist to them visually?
That's true. They can't even know that you're there. Yeah. Add yourself an extra die.
Okay.
No, you know what? Don't. And you'll have one person for free.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Thank you. All right. So we're saying
Dex larceny.
and Dex larceny. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because for sure you'll have time to pick one of their pockets.
Okay. So what are we saying the difficulty is 2?
Yeah, put 3. We only need to tally the successes. I don't care if the sheet says that you've failed a roll or not.
Okay. So that's 3 successes.
Yeah, so
And-
all of them.
All of them.
you basically go through each one, and it's only by the time you're at the last one, before I describe what you find in their pockets, that you splashes might be too strong a word. You are plecked, thank you, with a few droplets of blood from just the like Lucky's basically hand movement after like clawing through a layer of flesh. You just happen to be standing like nearby behind him.
She's like, well, I was going to burn this outfit anyways.
But
now it is really going to happen. And she's like, also thinks in her back of her head, Herz Almadi never made this big a mess.
Ever. Do you remember that scene in Lord of the Rings where Denethor eats the tomatoes and they just...
Yeah.
That's kind of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, going through their pockets, you find 2 flip phones. 1 smartphone.
We're making flip... Oh, okay. So they're probably paying you... It pays you go on a smartphone. Not to...
Florrie's going through their pockets, and I'm going through Ezekiel's flesh pockets. I'm just... Yeah. Mm-hmm. I do this for Pope. Because I just really live for Pope's reactions to the things that I'm saying. That's all.
You find a little baggie of white powder.
Cool.
And
that's gonna make my life even better.
You find 2 expired condoms.
She doesn't take those.
In the envelope, like they're not out of that, they're still wrapped, but
she doesn't take those.
Did you want the wallets as well?
Yes.
All right. So she's
taking all of this, and she's going to do a couple things with them as we go later on, but she's taking the wallets and any cash she has on the she's going to do a pull the cash and drop the wallets kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But she's holding on to the phones, and she's just, because she can maintain this for as long as she wants now. It's great. So she's holding this thing, and she's gonna, take the cash, drop the wallets. She doesn't care if they get caught in here. She just doesn't. She needs them to say that there was a cougar attack, and then she needs them, and she wants to increase the sound of the cougar that's down the hall that's coming, so they freak the fuck out and they run. Now they can run. She has her shit. She has what she needs from them. Now they can run.
Okay, let me just take a note of something.
Mm-hmm. She's wearing gloves. She said that.
No, that's not what I was making a note of.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I'll need to remember something in 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, great. That's fine. Thanks.
Is it? Oh. Cool. Oh, wait, is it that what you're going to remember is you're going to give us a present that's good and not bad?
Oh, it might.
Nice.
But then again, you are face deep in someone's stripes, so...
Yeah. I'm just like burying in there,
So...
It's like you want to get close to someone.
Basically, you're doing what we would call in the vampire world a bloody motorboat.
Yeah. Or it's like I'm necking. We're necking, but by that I mean
But you're inside
burrowing,
the neck. Yeah.
Inside the neck. Yeah. And just like draining everything.
It is warm.
Yeah.
It tastes... Oh yeah, that's true. You're drinking of Zeke.
Mm-hmm.
It tastes like pride. It tastes like... competitiveness.
It's my favorite taste.
It tastes a little bit of... Well, there's a faint aroma of like alcohol somewhere in the back, but not enough. He wasn't drunk.
Yeah.
There's no dyscrasia in his blood,
Mm-hmm.
but it is very, very sanguine. There's a lot of passion, a lot of emotions behind his competitiveness. A drive to be perfect. There's a drive to win. There's a drive to live.
Huh.
And as you pull your head back from his body, the beast, now sated, we're gonna have to talk about stains for a moment.
Yes. I'm surprised he's sanguine. Because Lucky eats a lot of athletes. They're mostly choleric, so it's interesting.
Yeah, he was a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll never know.
Hmm.
So,
Yes.
your stain.
Mhm,
For what you have done tonight and everything that led up to this moment of you finally being sated, can you just mark 2 stains on your sheet, please?
May I make an argument for more?
Please. Because
Well-
in my mind, there were 2 things that caused it, but if there's a third, I mean, I'm not... Because, yeah, go ahead.
Well, we have our chronicle tenants. Worry about collateral damage. Respect the community that's here. Don't draw the attention of the clergy. I feel like this counts as not worrying about collateral damage. And the rules say that if it's a minor
Definitely.
violation of the chronicle tenant, that's 1. But if it's not minor, that's 2. So I feel like that's 2 automatically for just violating the chronicle tenants. Right. Like if you only violate the chronicle tenant in like a really minor way, like you're like disrespectful to the community that's here, but not a super big way, that's 1 stain. But this was not worrying about collateral damage in not a small way. So I feel like that's 2 just for chronicle tenants.
So, I saw your message, Flory, in chat. I'll tell everyone, even the viewers, where it goes on the sheet. But I will say that yes, you're at 4 stains.
So I think 2 for breaking the chronicle tenant, and I think also 1 because it's 1 for your convictions.
Yep.
I violated. I'm the sword, shield, and book for my community. Because my community is not the kindred. So I think that would be 3.
Yeah, you did. What are your convictions?
I'm the sword, shield, and book for my community. Respect your elders, and no masters, no slaves. And I don't think any of my convictions would mitigate.
No,
Because
none
if
of
you-
them.
if
None.
you-
No, that's what I wanted to see if maybe, but no. So you're at 5 now.
5 stains?
5 stains. So the way
are
to
the-
add stains on your sheet is next to, so where your humanity track is, at the end there's a cog.
Yep.
If you click on it, it turns humanity into stains. You can just enter a number and it will mark down. So normally you mark down stains from right to left. And if you have too many stains, so your stains overlap with your humanity, then
Degenerate.
you degenerate. You immediately take 1 aggravated willpower damage. We'll start with that.
May I ask what the other 2 are for?
Just because it is a truly bestial act. Just
Yeah.
the 2 were basically, it's not just that you killed him. So killing him was 1 stain, that's for sure. But it's also the manner in which you did it, and you were, a slave to the beast in that moment. There was you were a monster. And I feel that the less monster, let's say human, Lucky, would probably feel something, maybe remorse at what happened afterwards, even though the beast didn't care in the manner how you felt, you fed. And you are also impaired for this whole session, which means you have 2 dice on everything. And at the end of the session tonight, we're going to do remorse checks, and we're going to see what happens
Which I
to you.
will fail because I cannot succeed in it because I don't have any open spots to roll.
But the roll is
how many open
The unfilled,
boxes
yeah.
you have.
Yeah, but you also you have one. The minimum number is always one for a remorse roll, even if your
Oh,
whole
okay.
track is full. The, like the rule of the luck die that we had before. So there's at least one, because you could maybe perhaps like feel remorse but not have your humanity go down. But the chances of that happening are very low when you only have one die.
So 5 stains. Anytime we disrespect the community that's here, that's just 1 stain. I'm just saying. Yep.
So Flory will get out of combat. Our friends, the college kids, are gone.
Cool.
And next to you is a crimson drenched Lucky. Like his entire head is still dripping blood onto his hockey jersey.
And not just like good arterial blood, like a real goopy.
The good stuff.
Yeah.
You want to lick your mouth. You've got your dinner's all over yourself. That's a look. Yeah, that didn't help at all. No, okay. Don't touch anything. Don't lose anything. Right now, nobody knows you're here. And she pulls out her phone and she texts Artie. She goes, going to have to call an audible.
So I in this moment, like the cork board wall is unveiled.
Can we backtrack for just a few minutes before that phone call?
Yeah.
Arthur, what are you doing? And what's your emotional state like?
This is somewhat introspective, but this is a habit. So there's certain accoutrements that happen. Like right now, Sinatra's "That's Life" is playing in the background. Because we're back here again. So that's the sort of the refrain as we have the red yarn. We have the push pins that are in the mason jar have been busted out. And right now and scrap paper with like a nice ballpoint pen. And just like, okay, so we have in the center Val, that old picture. And we've said about a number of things, like, again, Miami has its own place in the board. Palm Beach, Montreal, as well as a number of other things, like Valois has been written down. Soon to be dead is in quotation marks under the name and up on one side. As well as, Alex and Little Italy and all, like, we're beginning the big web. As, like, I think a pushpin's, like, he's finally written down on a far section of the board, Betty, just in case. Just in case Val had something to do with bringing the trash here. We're putting a push pin in that just to be thorough, as the phone vibrates on like the nightstand and goes over, and I figured, like, he has the money. This is a smart group. And he goes, pause. So music stops, goes over, audible. if Flory is using football terms, things have gone to shit.
That's not
Also,
wrong.
I know that I don't call when things have gone to shit. I text. And in very specific terms, is this Vegas bad or Chicago bad?
She kind of takes a second, glances. Somebody decided to recreate the Clockwork Orange. And
This is Chicago bad.
yep, I've got it under control, mostly.
As like he sees that response and is immediately like heading off to his wardrobe. He's putting on a suit. Like dressing exceptionally well, because if you wear your wealth and you look important, all of a sudden the cops, are more differential.
And she'll text you the address where they left the car, because we parked the car a couple blocks away, and then walked. She's keeping hold of the keys from the car that they jacked, and she's going to turn to Lucky and say, all right, first step, lose the shoes. You're going to carry them out.
Yep.
Don't step in anything.
Looks at the gore.
You can jump over there. And she's like, you're a vampire. You can clear that 5-foot
Right.
distance.
He, undoes the shoes. Just looks at all of that. Holds them.
Take the sweatshirt off, bundle it all up together, tie it so it doesn't drip. You're going to follow exactly where I am. We have to make what do you want to bet they have the on-site security videos here? She'll reach into like her behind her back and pull out like her lockpick set, and she'll come up behind one of the video, because she knows where the cameras are and she's been clocking them. So she's going to come underneath one of the cameras and use a magnetized screwdriver to shut off one of the cameras from this point, so that she can look at the camera itself quickly to see, is it a hard line or is it a wireless? Can I trace where it's being recorded to, kind of point?
Clearly, it's a wireless. It's tiny enough that it doesn't have like a tape in it.
Okay.
It's almost the size of an older model of webcam, if you will.
Okay.
I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna like pat down Ezekiel, because maybe
if you start to do that after you've taken the shirt off, Flory will stop you.
Gloves. Everything you do before he took those things off, because he's like, oh yeah. And just in case.
Yeah, as you do that, Ezekiel's part of his remains begin to vibrate.
Take the phone. Give me the phone.
And since I'm covered in blood and he is too, I'm like reach in to grab the phone, and I pull out a handkerchief from my pocket and I wipe it off and I hand the phone to you.
Okay, so she's gonna mute the phone and see who's calling.
It's not a call, it's 3 rapid text messages. It's from a contact known as Blondie, and the messages are from her. And it says, I've waited for you long enough. The second message is, stop your stupid jock games and come back to the party or I'm leaving. Fuck it, I'm leaving. She never gave him time to come back anyway. The 3 messages came in at the same time. The other message right before all of them is a not so tasteful nude from Zeke to her.
Why did she? Okay.
It was also the only other message, by the way.
No, she's just gonna pocket the phone. And let Lucky is a mess clean that all up. She's gonna try and because she knows that the cops are on their way. They don't have time to stick around and stay around.
And he's just gonna go and like pat through the rest of the pockets that are. I mean, and some of the pockets might be ripped open anyway. So
wallet,
you know. And he
but he's got a very like bare bone wallet. There's like an ID card. Yeah, there's an ID card and a driver's license. That's.
But I'm gonna look to see if there's anything else, like, because after all, he was.
He had a. Well, he still has a ring on his finger. Graduation ring. It looks like a graduation ring from like his high school.
What's the high school? I just note it.
Yeah, it's a it's college Jean. It's not Jean de la Mene. Anyway, it's a private college in Montreal.
I note it, and being back, I know we have very little time, but I am just looking for clues about the surveillance, right? Like that the ring from the high school might be something. See if there's anything else in the wallet. Just looking, trying to do a real quick, because she's doing this stuff with the camera, like a real quick rundown to see if he has got anything on him that might be useful evidence. And if it's hidden, probably it's okay to take it, right? Like wallet, let it stay. The ring, let it stay, but take a note. But he might have something hidden on him that wouldn't be too bad to take.
He doesn't have anything hidden on him. Those were the only things he had tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, because the other things that could have been hidden on him would have been you see that he has a lot of tattoos. But you've also ripped through most of them.
I was busy. Anything identifiable? I mean, I realize that there's a lot of flesh missing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The one that you see the most was over his heart. So it's like his whole pectoral.
Yeah.
And seems to be the face of an older woman. And it's like a tattooed as a cameo, if you will, with like roses at the bottom. Very. I don't think so. She's not a prominent person. Okay. But look, judging by what you recognize of the face and the location, you think it might be like a mother, maybe a grandmother.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to know if I knew her, because it sounded like a mom or a grandma.
Yeah, but not personally. You don't recall.
Okay.
I mean, it's only half a face now anyway, but
I know it's kind of hard to tell.
So Florrie's, when she's looking at this camera, is it off-site monitoring, or is it going to a security office on this campus?
The type of Wi-Fi camera that's here, like first you're in a CJEP, so they're not super wealthy.
Yeah.
So you figure it's Wi-Fi. It's got to the server where it sends all the feed has to be nearby.
Okay. She's going to say, all right, shoes off. Shoes off. Shirt off. You walk where I walk. You don't say anything. You don't do anything. Right now, you don't exist. And she's going to walk because we came in from upstairs, right? And we came down through to the gym, and we didn't see anything that looked like an office. Looked like a security office.
The first door to your left when you came in looked like some sort of office / like security / infirmary.
Oh, okay. So she's going to backtrack again behind.
Mm-hmm. You know the path.
And she's making sure that Lucky didn't step in anything, that he's not actively dripping.
Yeah, I'm very careful about that.
Because we could excuse the fact that there are no footprints of the cougar leaving, as long as there are no footprints of a human having been there.
I will. So you, Flory, don't need to make any checks.
Yeah.
I'll ask one from Lucky, not because Lucky would not remember the path, but it's mostly to see, you know, what if by mistake something like still dripped from him, or you know, in his frenzy earlier.
Yeah. Like it's. Yeah.
So it's gonna
almost,
be. No, go ahead.
She's almost okay if he drips, because, you know, like vertical is okay. It's the footprints that, you know, something that would be identifiably human or humanoid versus force.
What I would do is, can you give me wits and survival?
Yes.
Or wits and awareness? Your choice.
Wits and awareness.
Difficulty 1.
Am I giving him any benefit? Just
not for this, because the roll really that I want is more like a luck roll almost. Like what if.
Yeah, I can't control gravity as much as I might like to.
Nah, you're okay.
2 out of 1. Yeah.
So it's fine. You've managed to, even when you got up from Ezekiel earlier, you know, you were standing right in his blood. But when you moved around, when you handed Flory the cell phone, your feet moved just enough that it spread the blood. There's no real footprint in it.
Yeah.
But it looks like someone or something was there. Like something definitely stood basically between the legs of Ezekiel when he was down on the ground.
Yeah. I think I would try to obscure it as much as possible, right? So it doesn't look like
Flory would stop you.
Like,
because what she would say is, you'll leave fibers, you'll leave impressions, and looking like you're cleaning something up is a human or a vampire thing, not an animal thing. Animals don't clean up after themselves. And right now, he died from a cougar.
Oh, yeah, you are not aware of this, Lucky.
I'm just like, because he just meant like when he was going to step out of the blood, he didn't want there to be like a big old footprint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he wanted
that's the point. There's no footprint.
Yeah, and she doesn't want you to like try and wipe something up, because that's a direct sign.
Yeah. He just wanted to kind of, if there was going to be a footprint, he wanted to like shuffle the feet so it wasn't, you know, so it didn't look like, oh, there was a.
So they're going to backtrack to the cameras, or to the security office, and break in. I have lockpicks, and I have a skill in breaking and entering. Do I need to roll for that?
Yes.
I can.
You would still need to roll, because
Dex
if you had Dex and Larceny again, I was going to say, because
with my
with your bonus,
okay,
with your specialty, because what I was going to say is the luck isn't particularly hard. If you had the time, you wouldn't even need to roll. But you don't know how long you have before the cops show up.
And I think I just gesture with my head out towards the door with a questioning look, like
15 seconds. Wait for me for 15 seconds. Because right now, but if I'm with you, they won't see shit. Oh, I'm gonna re-roll that.
Can roll up to 3.
Yep, all of your black dice.
Yeah.
I will re-roll. Fuck.
You try to wiggle the lock, play with it. It's not so much that you're
So I just happened to notice a thing. Just noticed it in the book, and I'm going to throw it out there. There's this thing, which maybe the answer is no, and that's really on Prax. But it says that if you get any successes on that roll at all, if you fail but you do achieve a success, you can get a success at a cost.
That is true.
I just want to throw it out there.
Shit.
Just noting it.
Is this like Fate where I know what the cost is beforehand?
I don't know.
The storyteller can offer you to win at a cost. So what I would say, so I will give you the cost and you choose.
Okay.
I give the cost and you have the choice to decide, you know, if so what I would say is you succeed, but you damage your luck picks. Mechanically, what it means is you won't be able to use your luck picks for the remainder of this session and next session. And then, you know, by that time, Flory will have received new ones or whatever. So that would be the thing. Wait, before we do that, I forgot about something.
Uh-oh.
I forgot about something.
That you want to give us a present that's good?
Actually,
No.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
I forgot about something because
Sometimes you ask.
this is an item. Your luck picks technically should give you something.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, 'cause it's an item for mechanically speaking. Yeah.
Yeah, so roll one additional die.
And we'll see what happens.
Ooh.
That's a success.
So thanks to the fact that no, it's an 8, 9, 10, a 6. No, sorry,
No,
that's
6.
that's Onyx
It's over
Path.
6.
Yeah, sorry. Played Scion 2 days ago.
It's okay. I had that same thought of like, no, but it's a 6.
Yes. So yep, thanks to the fact that you have tools. You are a creature that uses tools, like humans. And it works.
Okay. So she's going to now what she's going to do, because she still has what she's going to do is she's going to leave the door cracked and leave the door and you know, as she walks by, kind of bust a little bit the lock so it looks like an unprofessional job. She still has their phones. She's keeping the phones, but she still has their the money from their wallet and the drugs. She does a quick scan of this room looking for wherever server that these videos are going to. Is it, you know, relatively easy to find? The general.
So when you get in this this room, on your immediate right as you come in is it's like a counter, basically the window of this this infirmary, if you will. There's someone that should work there normally during the day and just looks at, you know, students coming in and out, right?
I'm keeping watch outside that office, by the way.
Okay. Now, if you just look at the rest of the room, there's a privacy wall that separates, let's say, half the room, which seems to be just a very basic infirmary. There's like we're not even going to call it a bed. It's like a cot, a couple of chairs, and you can see, you know, a first aid kit, and a little other, like a table more than a desk, with a chair, and there's like a computer on it. And then on the other side of the room is another desk. No privacy walls. This one has like a few posters hung on the walls around it of like school activities or what have you. There's a small cork board which has like pinned on it many different business cards or not necessarily business, but like there's a card with like the phone number for what we call info health. And other like suicide prevention, blah blah blah. And you notice that this desk, while it does have a computer, there's a monitor and everything, but under the desk there are several towers.
Cool. She doesn't have time to do this the neat way. So she's going to take that magnetized lockpick that she has, the magnetized
The screwdriver.
and do it the old-fashioned way and jam each of the towers with the magnetized lockpick to EMP them. To, fry it.
Corrupt.
Yeah.
and
So long as you hit the hard drive,
Yeah.
you're good. Because that could be interesting. I'll ask one other roll from you.
Okay.
You're not doing it with any finesse, right? You're doing it
No.
quickly. You're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You're breaking them, and you don't care how. So, can you give me strength and larceny?
Do I still get my benefit from my knowledge of breaking and entering?
Yes, that's gonna count, but the tool bonus won't count.
Okay, that's fair. It's just a very
You're just shivving a computer with a screwdriver, or shanking a computer.
Should I try it?
I was
You
I was
should.
expecting this to happen. I have the
Yeah.
cost in mind, but go ahead.
What is the cost?
The cost, should you choose to accept it, is that one of the hard drive is not completely corrupted, and they will be able to find. And it so happens that it'll be the hard drive with the footage.
Yeah.
They won't be able to see everything. It'll be like corrupted stills of what happened, just like when you're looking at an encrypted TV station. You know, when you were a kid and you were
Yeah.
trying to look at porn on the TV for free. Yeah, that kind of.
No, I didn't do that. Why did you try? We didn't have that same kind of TV setup. You couldn't look. Well, it's complicated. Anyways, so no, she'll take it because she knows that it's not a perfect cleanup job, and she knows that I'll take that consequence for
Okay.
success, because I know it's not a perfect cleanup job, and she knows that. But what she's also going to do is do a little because she's jammed them. It looks obvious that they're jammed. She's going to sacrifice this magnetized screwdriver because she's got her gloves on, so it's not a problem. But she's also got the bag of Coke, assuming that's what it is, because it's a powder.
It's not baby powder, I can tell you that.
Yeah, she's going to, dribble a little bit next to the towers and then drop the baggie like somebody was doing some while they were trying to clean this shit up. And drop one of the flip phones next to it. Because the flip phones don't have any video on it.
Nope.
But at least this makes it like, oh, maybe they'll go after the kids, these boys instead of, us. And then she will get the fuck out. But she's going to leave the door cracked,
Mhm.
Again, to give all of the signs that this is an amateur who came in. And then she's going to she's going to continue out the door and put a hand on Lucky, and holding Lucky as we go out, going to just use the Fata Morgana to make Lucky look pristine.
Meanwhile, while you were jamming the screwdriver just before you come out, Lucky, you heard in the distance sirens. You didn't see the light, you're muted. You didn't see the lights, I should say, but the sound is getting closer.
Yeah, and the minute I hear it, I'll just go, "St," just that little, so that she knows.
And then, Flory comes in, comes back, out. Can you rouse the blood on that Fata Morgana?
Yes, I can do that.
You won't need to make a roll necessarily for it unless someone sees you.
Yep. Okay, well, I'm getting a little hungry. I'm getting a little snackish.
It would have been nice if, now that you think of it, if you had saved one of the kids just for that, just a quick bite before they left running. But there's no point in trying to run after them now. But you'll have to.
Yeah. I'll figure out something. I'll have dinner later. Also,
Just
I'm a
lick
little
my
busy.
face.
You could just lick Lucky clean.
No, that's not gonna happen. It's fine.
At this point, it's coagulated.
Yeah, no, that's not good. But she's going to keep a hand on Lucky and go try and use the big hedge bushes to kind of guide out, and go around the outside so that you're not like right in front of the door. But if we've seen walking, it
won't
it just
be
it'll
just
look just
walking.
like two people walking down the campus at night, and he looks, he doesn't have the jersey on.
Mhm.
But he looks like he's
Where in August, he could walk around bare chest,
yeah,
even at night.
but he's not wearing any.
Yeah.
He's not covered in blood. At least he doesn't look like he's covered in blood. And she's like, you owe me dinner.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
And by the time you're out of the campus, you're back on the sidewalk. Not yet on the car, but by the time you're on the sidewalk, about to cross the street, that's when you see the cop cars coming in. There's two of them, two patrol cars. They're not going especially fast.
Yeah.
It's an emergency to them. So
yeah.
But they're there. Like
there's that moment of like where she'll put a hand, like she's kept a hand on like Lucky near his wrist to kind of like give him a little bit into this, like where she's like stop and like, I wonder what's going on.
Yeah.
Keep going. Yeah. Don't
A little looky loo.
A little look and then keep going to kind of give the impression of like, okay, we're fine. And then go to the car where I'm assuming Artie's at the car.
Oh,
yeah.
There's been a number of things that have happened by the time that gets the call.
Arthur, I would like to know between that call. Let's give it a There's at most a half hour. At most that you would have. Not even actually. You would have 20 minutes.
This is something that he's had to do before. This is rote memory. As he's getting dressed, a particular artist is played whenever Arthur has to do things. Mel Torme and Get Happy begins to play as he's getting dressed, putting on gloves, and then I'm going to use vicissitude.
You're going to use the what, sorry?
Vicissitude. I am going to change my appearance.
Please rouse that blood.
Well, first I roll to see how well the disguise
Oh,
works.
yeah. Because if you, yeah. Visi. How many changes are you aiming for? Oh my god.
I am now a young Raymond Burr. This is the Mr. Wolf persona, essentially.
You, in case it happens, but for everyone also listening, one attribute of your choice, one physical attribute of your choice goes down by 1 point. Yeah, drops
Stamina.
by 1 point. Stamina? Okay, temporarily.
Yeah, stamina is dropped because we may have to do other things. But yeah, no, stamina's dropped, and the body shifts into a form that has been used many times before. And
there would be. There is a role if someone. Oh no, because that was your resolve protein. Never mind. It's already done. Yeah.
And now I'll make that rouse check.
Yeah, actually, at 6 successes, you are literally a young Raymond Byrne.
Again, this is. I succeed. This is old hat, and We're getting in the Black 2010 Crown Vic.
Yes.
That has the, grandma's furniture covers in the back. This is not new. There's paper on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Lucky is not getting in the 63 Corvette.
I've done this before. The upholstery in the trunk has all been taken out. This is the go car. And we are driving to the scene. So when you get there, there is a black Crown Vic. There is a young Raymond Burr, black suit, black shirt, black tie, black hat,
Cadillac. Sorry.
waiting for you. Glasses.
At this point, Flory will open the door of the car and using the door of the car to kind of block Lucky from out other viewpoints, lets the Fata Morgana drop from him.
Oh, Arthur.
Yeah.
Arthur, for from one moment to the next, you saw Lucky and Flory come by.
Yeah.
It didn't look so bad. Not that the illusion is dropped. Oof. Someone took a plunge in the blood pool.
This is Chicago bad.
We have an unfortunate cougar problem in this city.
I'll see about contacting some of my friends within the zoological.
Well, there are 3 witnesses who will swear up and down that it was a cougar.
We need to give them a cougar.
I did a quick job on the video feed. Not my usual standard, but should pass inspection.
We'll talk more when we get back. Right now, it's taking a very uncomfortable drive.
Mm-hmm. And she gets in her car and drives back very normally to Artie's. And doesn't actually say a word to Lucky as she leaves.
Before you leave, he hands you specifically, this is not something that we have done this song and dance before.
Mm-hmm.
He hands you specifically a garage door. You are parking inside.
Oh, well, thank you, Raj. And she'll say thank you, Rajul, and get in her car and just drive off.
We're taking the ride back.
Were you staying at the scene, Arthur?
No.
Okay.
I need to get him back. If this was Vegas bad, I'd stay at the scene. This is Chicago bad. Chicago bad is we take care of our own, we see what the fallout is, and then we deal with it.
Yeah, and in the case of the Succubus Club, you just leave it alone.
Chicago bad.
The car ride should be uneventful back to Little Italy, but I would like to know what's going on inside Lucky's head right now. I don't have a monologue token to give you, but assume that that's what I'm doing.
Well, I've got a -2 to all my dice because I'm racked with distress. So I'm mostly just allowing them to move the things, right? Flory moved me out and into this place, and now Artie's moving me from that place to another place. And I'm just thinking about the mother or grandmother, if maybe I know her, or if somebody in the community would have known her, if I can find out who she is, or maybe his high school ring, I could maybe find out who his family is, who they are. They couldn't say anything. You can't breach, you know. But he didn't have any. He didn't have any evidence on him. My gift comes out to protect the community. That's what it does. But I mean, he was the community, so that wasn't really appropriate for the beast to do that. The gift to do that. And I wonder if his family will need support in some way for this. I really wish Hetty were here. And I don't know where she is, because she knows a lot of things about all of this and how all this. And I wasn't even hungry at first. It was the gift that decided this was a threat. And I don't really know why. And it doesn't make sense to me, because that's not how it normally goes, how it's supposed to go. So, and it wasn't, we'll have to wait. I'll have to wait some time. You can't go poking now at this moment. It's too soon. You have to wait for things to die down, but we have time. I can find out. I can do something to help. And Artie and Flory are going to be. It's going to be. They'll probably. And then they won't. I don't know if they'll understand. It'll probably be. It's not even. Didn't they say something about before the Night of Ashes? The Sabbat would just wander the streets doing whatever, and I don't think this will get back to us. I don't know. And maybe even the people here won't know who did it. I mean, us. Not me. I mean, I know. We know. I meant the rest of them. Those who don't really seem to care about anything outside of, is this Anarch territory? I think it is. This might be Anarch territory. Yuma will probably, but we don't. I have to take a bath. I can't take a bath at home, because I can't go home like this. That would be bad. I'll have to take a bath at Artie's, and then change of clothes. Then I can go home. I wonder if we have work tonight.
And your train of thought would be interrupted then by the car parking inside a garage. You don't even remember the way you took to get here. It's not Flory's RV. It's not where the car normally belongs to.
And Artie's up front?
No, we put Artie in the Crown Vic, and he's in the back.
Yeah, Artie and Lucky are in the Crown Vic.
Yeah.
Well, Taurus, because the Crown Vic wasn't made
Oh,
after.
yeah.
But in
No,
the
sorry,
No,
I
no, no.
thought... Yeah,
I did
that's
my
right.
research.
Yeah.
2010,
10.
because the Crown Vic was phased out in 2012. This is a 2010 Ford Crown Vic. Funnily enough, the assembly plant for these is not too far away. It's in Ontario.
It's and there are and this is an example of what we call a 3/2 trunk, people.
And so-
Um,
Is
Yeah, so
Artie-
I
Are
forgot
we
for
in
a
the
sec.
back seat together?
No,
You're in the
that-
back seat. I'm driving.
That's the
That's
thing.
fine.
I forgot for a moment that you weren't riding with Flory back. You were riding with Artie. So you...
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. Your train of thought is interrupted by the Crown Vic parking inside a garage. That... I mean, since it's Artie's who's driving, you figure you're somewhere that Artie knows. But...
Yeah.
That's all.
I'm holding my shoes, wrapped up and trying not to leak too much. And I wait because I know I'm not supposed to touch any door handles. Like, I just kind of wait there.
Open up the back. You can leave the shoes by the car. Walk down that hallway. It'll deposit you within the line of sight of the house. Take the keys. Go inside. Get yourself cleaned up.
The door handle.
Don't worry. I'm going to clean everything.
He sort of steps out and he strips completely naked and leaves everything. And he folds everything actually into a little pile.
We've done this before. I pop the trunk. I hand you a set of gray, essentially a gray hoodie and gray sweats and a pair of sandals.
And I wipe my hands before I take them so I don't get any blood on them. And I take the keys, put them on top of the little bundle that I keep because my hands are clean because I was wearing gloves. But everything else I put in a little pile, and I wander down this hallway following the instructions. To the house.
Mm-hmm. Let's cut to a few minutes later when everyone, Flory included, is here.
He would be in the bath for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they would have some time by themselves before.
Yeah, by themselves before you.
Yeah.
Lori has taken, she's changed her shirt because she keeps a spare in the trunk of her car, like you do. And she's got it in a very tight Ziploc bag. It's going to end up being burnt in a industrial furnace somewhere else in the city. And she's just sitting, leaning on the pool table, waiting for Artie and then Lucky to come in.
Artie's a bit delayed as we get a quick scene of once Lucky's out of the way, we pop the trunk again. We put on a painter's jumpsuit, new gloves, Clorox. We are cleaning everything. We are putting. We take the bundle, we put it in a garbage bag. Along with, once we are done, all the papers, grandma's furniture covers, everything goes into the garbage bag. We get out of the painter's jumpsuit. We toss the leftover Clorox, all of it. Garage has a hose. We quickly just go over the car with some soap, water, and then we put the garbage bag in a laundry bag, and we walk back to the house.
And the laundry bag in the river.
No.
What kind of music is playing in the background while you're cleaning up the car?
It's still Mel Torme. It's putting on the Ritz.
I figure cleaning up the car, Lucky taking a bath, if you want, those two scenes can end, those two montage scenes can end about at the same time. With the three of you now in the room, but well, in Arthur's secret haven.
I
Flory,
think I'd want to give those two a little bit of time to talk before
Okay.
before Lucky shows up, because they might
Well,
have a couple of things to say.
yeah, I wanted to ask Flory if she's not cleaning the car with Artie. What are you doing during this, almost hour?
She doesn't have to clean up a lot because she didn't get blood on herself. She's going through the phones that she kept.
The Ezekiel's friends have typical college student message logs, history. You go through their contacts. Some of them are common to all of them. Of course, they each have each other as their contact.
Mm-hmm.
The most interesting one has to be Zeke, though.
Yeah. That's the one she really wants because she didn't get to ask him any questions.
There is a contact that Ezekiel has that he's been texting with. It's a oh boy, my notes have all messed up. Ah, no. 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Getaway link. So he's the one who there's this someone contacted Ezekiel. So this someone is named Mr. Vargas in the phone. And he's a reality TV show producer.
Really?
And basically he wants Zeke to take part in an upcoming show. But the show that he's pitching, and there's a lengthy text message. There's no actual PDF of a contract or anything like that. But the lengthy text message basically says that the concept behind the show is this sort of candid camera type of thing, where instead of having a bunch of participants stuck in a house for X amount of days and blah, 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 it's sort of they would send them out into the world or into Montreal, and they would have to basically peep on people. It's very strange. And whoever... So it's a reality TV show of people producing reality TV shows. Kind of.
Okay.
It's a very... it looks scammy just by reading it.
Yeah, she's going to make a note of that and kind of put it aside. She's also going to flip through and see if there are any other messages or videos like the one that he took of...
Well, that's the thing. Vargas, Mr. Vargas...
Yeah.
Said that the message that he sent was that he liked the video that Zeke did of Zeke made what he filmed of Ralphie.
Okay.
He likes it, and he said that since he likes it so much, he might have other people/places that he could suggest to Ezekiel, so that Ezekiel has a better portfolio when he sort of shows up to the auditions for the reality thing. You're looking at the list of places, and you notice the cabaret is one of them. The jungle is another one. There's McGill University. All the places that are... Not all of them, necessarily. There's a few others that I'll omit.
Yeah.
But those are all, hotbeds of vampiric activity.
Cool. Does this... I mean, she's dealt with Inquisitors before and knows that they are perhaps like to utilize idiots of the kind. Does this read like that kind of thing? Or does it read like a vampire? She's got two thoughts. Like, somebody is obviously manipulating this this kid and a bunch of other people into surveillance that wouldn't be noticeable. And she wants to know if this is Inquisitor level or kindred spying on each other.
That I'd say if you could give me intelligence plus insight.
Insight. Oh, I can do that. It won't be great, but I can do it. Oh, I succeeded in a messy critical. Well, no, it's not. It's not.
No, because it's missing the 10 on the other one.
The other one, yeah.
So it's not an Inquisitor.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Kindred spying on Kindred.
Mm-hmm.
It's Kindred trying to start shit.
Oh, it's Kindred trying to start shit. Is this Camarilla trying to start shit? Or is this Sabat trying to start shit? Because she's walked that line between the two of them.
With the successes you have, you don't know enough about this
city,
Mr. Vargas person. You don't know what their allegiances might be, and there's nothing in the places that he lists targets just about anyone. Like, it's all the places where you could reasonably find either someone's ghoul or someone's herd or literally one of the kindreds themselves.
By the way, that's 3 successes, not 2. I'm just noting it.
Oddly enough.
She gets 3. So
I
give you that bonus there.
I don't know why it didn't count it. I don't know what the dice do with this game.
It's easier to... I checked the images, the icons instead of the numbers. But yeah, so hard to tell. You keep looking through the conversations and everything, but can't really find anything else about Vargas in the text messages. You said you were looking at other stuff on his phone after.
Yeah, she wants to see if there are any other videos, particularly now that we got that point where he said that he was going to send out. Are there any other videos that are recorded on the phone that haven't been loaded yet? And are there any websites that he's been does he have a Reddit chat? Does he have a Discord chat?
He doesn't have a Discord. For sure. Discord wasn't released yet. He's got a few websites. They're all mostly the ones on his phone. Saved as the last tabs he had opened. Video editing tutorials. And a lot of soccer replays or highlights and stuff like that. His other website that's open, currently there are 2. One of them you're locked out of. It's his bank account, but it's it timed out. He's been logged out. Probably has been there open there for a while. And the other one is his emails. And in the emails, he has sent emails with videos to Mr. Vargas, asking him, would that work? Would this one work? And they all don't. So they're basically just videos of people. Just shots of... You would consider that B-roll, normally. Except one of the thing that you notice after a few of these emails, there's one of them where Mr. Vargas replied twice in the same night. And the second reply, so the first one was not really what we're looking for. Try to imagine we're trying to find this like gold nugget of of something out of the ordinary. And then next like reply from Vargas on the same email, it has come to my attention that you know, or you have made contact with True Witness QC. You went to school with him, didn't you? Do you think he would be interested in participating in the reality TV show? Because what I'm told is that he's a great filmmaker and a natural. And Zeke to just reply very quickly from his phone. You have like that little notification like sent from my... he says, I don't know who you're talking about. I went to school with a lot of people. I didn't have any friends back in high school.
So she's going to make notes of all of that. And then she's going to glance up and like kind of listen for a moment, you know, hear the water still running, you know, and then, but also hear everything. And she's going to take 5 seconds or a minute and a half very quickly while neither Artie nor Lucky is here. She's going to pull out her phone and just send a quick text to Zalmati. Just a quick check, and it's in French, or no, it's in Arabic. It's in Arabic. Just a quick text to him in Arabic, and then also while she listens again and listens to see where they are, and takes a second and like actually takes her hair down and redoes her hair, and then puts it back up.
What is the text you send, Zalmati?
She's like, it's a coded text, but if you had the code, you would know that it basically said, everything's fine. Just had a little cleanup to do tonight. How is your night going?
No answer just right away.
Of course not. I don't expect one right away because
also time zones.
Because also time zones and he's working. Yeah. He might actually not be awake at the moment based on the way things are,
I'll give you something else with your insight check with that 3 successes you had.
Yep.
With all the exchanges, now that you can think about it a bit, with all of those exchanges between the two of them, you think you might understand what he meant by, they're everywhere, Steve was right?
Yeah.
You think he was probably trying to just say something that would turn ordinary footage into something more, like, to finally please that Mr. Vargas producer man.
Can I ask one last question?
Sure.
Based on that message that got sent about True QC or
True Witness
QC.
True Witness QC. What day is that sent? When is that sent?
Do you mean in relation to the date, the chronicle date?
Yeah.
And the meeting we had, the big meeting.
Yeah. So the big meeting was like
Last night.
Last night. Yeah, that's true. That's just a night ago. Wow, y'all are fast. So the true witness answer was not on the last video that he sent with like, oh, they're everywhere, blah, blah, blah. That's the last one he sent, Vargas, and he hasn't had a reply yet. That one was 3 weeks ago. Now, the one where Vargas asked them twice was a month ago, so a week before.
Okay.
So, a week before that video, Vargas talks about True Witness. A week later, Zeke sends a video, but he names a person. Steve's was just the beginning. You've got enough insight.
Yeah, to know that
He probably lied to Vargas, and Steve is the person.
is True Witness.
The True Witness QC, yeah.
Cool.
So Zeke must have known him at some point.
But that gives me an idea of where we're going.
And I figure that is when both Carr and Lucky are clean. If you so wish. And that's also when we're going to take a short break.
Okay.
Because I just saw the time.
Oh.
Y'all, wow. I did not see the time go. So we're just going to take a short bio break because we're not immortal vampires and we need the bio. We'll be right back. Yeah?
Time flies when you're like disemboweling people.
I know. It's
Or cleaning up when someone else has disemboweled someone.
Yeah.
So we'll be back in a couple minutes, everyone. Stick around. Hello, we're back. So while Flory was going through the phones, Artie was cleaning up the mess, and Lucky was cleaning up his mess. Self. By the time you're done, Arthur, you head back to... Actually, which room would Flory be waiting in? Like, what's your guest area like?
There are many. I'm guessing if Flory is lounging, he's in the TV room.
Yeah, probably.
And an oversized large screen, number of very comfortable couches, audience.
And she's got her phone playing, and it's but it's playing oh, I don't want to know. It's playing the soundtrack for Joda Akbar.
I know that.
And she's kind of humming along with it.
I still listen to it. It's on my car playlist. Very good movie. Watch it. Yes, Arthur.
Comes in. All right. I'm not expecting everything today, but I'm going to need a list of names.
I have their phones. Well, no, one of them I left behind. Also his cocaine in the security room, intentionally.
Log's going to come of this, and those kids are in for holy hell, and someone needs to be able to see me.
I'm sorry, I could not hear you. So that's my apologies.
Those kids are going to be experiencing holy hell.
Yeah,
and someone needs to soften the blow, otherwise people are going to poke around.
Yeah. When your friend gets eaten by a cougar in front of you.
Let's find a cougar.
Look, if we were in Europe, Rajul, it would have been a wolf, and I felt that Yuma would have been upset if I had done that.
I understand. Apparently I'm going to need to make friends with a Canadian cat sanctuary at this point.
I mean, I could call Yuma and ask him if he knows one, but we'll hold off on that.
I don't want to involve anyone unless I have some.
I have some other news. It wasn't a bust, and it was actually useful to go after the entirely pointless red herring. Someone of ours is trying to start shit in this city. They're using Kine as spies.
Hey.
Oh, and the dead body also knew True Witness QC personally. Went to school with him.
Into deceased, but quietly.
Yes. Isn't it great that I have his friends' phones as well? Yeah.
And you've got through their phones, by the way, you have their names.
Okay, yeah, she's going to take that from there because, you can cross-reference who's been referenced, whatever. It's fine. It could have been worse.
By the looks of it, it could have, but I'm no Joey.
No.
I'm not that good at cleaning.
No one saw. All the witnesses will be convinced it was an animal attack.
More concerned if there was not necessarily someone who responded to the call, but a supervisor that was possibly still with the PD after the night of ashes. We'll look further into this.
Probably.
I'm going to have to get my hands in police sooner than I thought.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to have to get my hands in on the police sooner than I thought.
Yes, it is an unfortunate.
I'm going to have to move fast, which means it would be obvious.
I think this is probably when Lucky, sort of in the gray sweats, would make his way down into the room and sort of sit.
Oh, I'm gonna say this. It's gonna sound harsh, but I'm gonna say this because the minute you walk in, Florey looks up at you and goes, "Next time you get hangry, just let me know you need a Snickers."
What do you mean?
You're not yourself when you're hungry.
Oh.
Speaking of hungry, I just need to tell something to my cat.
And in another universe, you see Lucky stops being Liza Minnelli and then just becomes Lucky again.
Sorry, it was right there.
I thought it was hilarious. It made me laugh. And he just sort of kind of sits in one, like, I imagine there's like a bar stool, like one of those bar chairs, right? In this area. He kind of sits in there to see what you're all talking about.
When you sit down, Florey, who had been lounging on one of the couches, is gonna like sit up and like curl into one of the arms and like lean into one of the armrests and go, "So good news, we got a lot of information out of his phone."
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he knew True Witness QC personally, and another kindred is trying to start shit in the city.
What do you mean he knew True Witness QC?
The kindred who is trying to use Kine as a spy on other bastions, sanctuaries, havens even, is he sent an email saying that he wanted to, they're using this ruse of being found footage reality TV star. So whatever he said about Steven was entirely bullshit. It's what he made up to get the producer to agree. And Mr. Vargas, however, said, "Oh, I heard you knew True Witness QC personally." And he did. So we'll have to find that out, but they went to high school together, so at least we know from the school ring where he went. That'll be something to begin to look into further.
How old is Zeke about?
Not even 20.
Cusp like
Cusp of 20. Yeah, either 18 or 19. Well, you looked at his ID card earlier. He's 19. Yeah. He's 19 and a half.
19 and a half. How old is Alex?
Oh, Samar? Mm-hmm. Do you mean in human years? Like what he looks like, or
no? How old is he actually?
Yeah.
Alex.
He's a thin blood, right?
Yeah, Alex is. He was vamped in 98.
Yeah, so he's
like older 24 as a vampire, but as a human, he was born in like 1981. We'll say.
Yeah,
and
so
this
he's
is 2014.
So he's 30, 33.
Okay.
I mean, you don't know when he was vamped. I should have kept that to myself.
we know he's about like
He's
30s.
fairly new. Yeah. So sorry, he was 20, let's say 25 in 98, so 83, 73. He would have been born like in the 70s.
He's in his 30s.
Oh yeah, I have it in my notes actually.
Because I have been
it's public
in Montreal
knowledge
for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, that's public knowledge. That's what I'm saying. Is
public knowledge. Alex was embraced in the late 70s by an unknown sire.
Okay.
late 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So he's older.
And he was, one of the first gen Thin Bloods.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, got a question that I'm thinking about. So, if Zeke went to school with True Witness QC, that means True Witness QC can't be older than like 24
At most.
at most.
Unless, of course, he's a thin blood hiding out among a bunch of kind.
I suppose, but I bet he's probably not going to school. I mean, what kind of vampires go to school if they don't have to?
Apparently, they sparkle.
Oh, I mean, college I could get, right? But I mean, high school? Why would any vampire want to do that? Ugh.
I wouldn't know. I didn't go.
So remember, Valois said that Alex has some friend, and the friend was the one who stole the True Witness QC video
Mm-hmm.
when he was just like robbing a place and just happened to find the video, then happened to give it to Alex. Then Alex was protecting him because Alex wants to turn him.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine his friend is not in his 30s.
No, probably not. That's why I'm betting that True Witness QC and his friend are not the same person.
No, what I'm saying is that maybe they are. I mean, what if his friend didn't rob it at all?
Well, we'll find out when we threaten him later.
Mm-hmm. And you said some vampire was doing this.
Oh, a vampire one is arranging to spy on all of the havens for using kind to do so. Because they want to start shit.
All of them?
What's the name of the using Vargas?
Mr. Vargas is the name being used.
I want to make a reference check to something that, again, I've been playing games with Val for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Is Val someone who will just, because we're Saturday morning cartoon villains when we do this, just use iterations of V names for separate personas?
You don't need a roll for that. It would be beneath her. I mean,
Okay.
Honestly, if she was to have done that, it would really be the first time in your undead existence or existence as an undead.
Okay.
That
just
yeah, no, it would
ruling
it
things
too
out.
cartoonishly well, not evil, but like it's too cartoonishly a caricature of no.
No, this is okay.
It's too Scooby-Doo-esque.
So, what places do they have the kid?
The
Look at-
jungle, the restaurant, the club. Which is interesting because I haven't been in the city for very long, and people knowing my friends is very intriguing.
Wait, your club?
Not mine per se. I have a friend who I facilitate. Mylan. She owns a cabaret. Well, she worked at the cabaret. Stripper. Very good. Very good. Full-on contortionist. Could do the whole bit where you get them to go in opposite directions.
Oh, okay. Right.
She's arranging unionization of the girls at the club and then turning it into a very high-class burlesque. I've been encouraging people, but I haven't been in this city for more than 72 hours. So who knows to spy on that place, 6 weeks ago?
And La Jungle, that's
Diana.
Diana's, right?
McGill.
That's very wise.
Is there a noticeable, looking at that list of places, is there a noticeable place where somebody, like a big name isn't located?
Like basically what's the pattern here, right? Because McGill is Valois.
Is there anything that isn't Betty's?
No, McGill is not Valois.
What is McGill then?
The
McGill's?
Montreal University is
Is
Is Valois.
Yeah.
is Valois.
Yeah.
So
McGill's, I know people at McGill, and so does
I do.
Yeah. And so, are there locations that aren't tied to a specific, like
Yeah, I know what you mean. And so after, laying them out and looking carefully, it's one of each. And then you have like a few of you or of other vampires whose allegiance is not necessarily public knowledge enough. So for instance, for the Anarchs, the place that was targeted would have been, in their case, not the jungle. The Olympic Stadium.
Okay.
Which is near,
where
the jungle is a meeting spot. So like let's consider
it's also Diana's.
It's Diana's place.
Yeah.
So you could count it as, let's say, the Camarilla. McGill doesn't belong to any of you as far as you know. Though there might be someone in town who has like contacts over there, maybe like a ghoul that works there or whatnot. So that could be a thing. Then there was what were the others?
Yeah, but was there any? Let's put it this way: was there anybody at the meeting last night who wasn't targeted in some manner?
So to assuage
surveillance.
your conspiracy theories, no. Basically, they're not necessarily random, but they are popular spots that, let's say, a newcomer kindred to the city would eventually check them. Yeah, would eventually know of them. Just because they would recognize like feeding patterns, hunting grounds, and the like. A human would never know these things, but someone who knows what to look for.
May I ask a question about that?
Yes.
Because I see what you're saying, and so I'm going to ask a question which you'll probably say no to, but I have to ask it for thoroughness' sake. Looking at these places, these seem to be kind of big, obvious places, but sometimes not people's territory or the places of the kindred themselves. So often not necessarily, some places might be closer, like La Jungle is closer than some other places in terms of like proximity. Some of them are getting like more ghouls or contacts than they are getting kindred themselves. And we can maybe think some things about that, but I did want to ask this question. Is there any kindred or group who is present on the list, but whose target is conveniently distant? I.e., if I were being conspiratorial or being sketchy, right, I'd want to make sure that I was on the list, but nothing too bad.
Honestly,
you know what I mean?
McGill right now is the one place that you're like, okay, we can, because
Mhm.
some of the places, like I said, I omitted
Yeah.
in the description
Yeah.
originally some of the places
Yeah.
that were really just random.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
seem like they're home addresses. They're like
Yeah.
a street corner,
Uh-huh.
and you're like,
Uh-huh.
those were probably just done to throw him
Yeah.
off in a way, or throw off anyone who might have been
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
scent of Ezekiel. But honestly, of all of those, the one where you really do not know
Why it's there.
not why it's there, but
Who, it's
who is
tied
it
to.
targeting? Yeah, who is it tied
Yeah.
to? Is
Yeah.
McGill
So-
University.
So Flory hasn't been here long enough. I mean, that's the thing. So her comment is, again, someone knows a little too much.
But not enough.
I hate to be this speculative this sort of thing.
You're going to say
This doesn't-
Val, right?
No. This isn't Val.
Val would not spy on me.
Well, no.
Val would,
Val would spy on me.
but it would be
This
more
is
personal.
this is someone local.
Yeah.
And my first instincts are, because it would be even more sloppy if it was Betty. No, this isn't Caleb. This isn't Diana. This feels like Antonio or Alex.
Who?
Antonio
Mhm.
Andrade or Alex.
Why do you say so?
Antonio is scarred and has grudges, and this might be a way that he can keep things uneasy amongst everybody. Also, he left the meeting suspiciously. And it could be Alex trying to just keep things uneasy enough to keep folks off of him and make himself important.
You got to back
Why
up.
else bring the video? Why else have the meeting with the new video?
Right. The video is interesting because the only one who knew about this video was Alex. Although Valois knew something.
I don't think this is not Valois.
No,
It's not ostentatious enough.
It's
No,
not obscure, grand.
But listen, back in that meeting, we got the sense they had some kind of previous conversation about all of this. And that there was something between those two. I think it's never good to underestimate. I'm not 100% certain. I'm not saying that Valois is behind it, but I'm saying that I don't think Alex is doing this by himself, but I think he is a tool.
Oh, most definitely a tool.
If that's the case, it makes Antonio's leaving even more suspicious.
He was not the only one who left early.
Yes, but he was the only one who left early that I have any faith in their competence.
I mean, if this is a reason why I get to kill Betty sooner, we can take that.
No, this isn't Betty.
Oh, well, okay.
If this is Betty, then all of a sudden I might actually have to be interested in her, and that makes me uncomfortable.
And Antonio was connected to Alex. That's true.
And he snuck out. He didn't just,
Leave him off.
storm out.
When the conversation was getting somewhere he didn't like.
When I pushed.
No, this.
But here's the thing that doesn't make sense about that. Antonio's been here all along, right?
Antonio's been here all along.
Which means
And
he would know these places. He does. This looks like a fishing expedition.
no. This is to keep people uneasy. And as someone who has been traumatized as much as Antonio, this is the kind of petty vengeance I could see happen.
Honestly, he gets added to the list of people I have a conversation with.
I don't know if you can find him because I have a feeling he's laying low right now.
I'll find him eventually. It's what I do.
I don't know. This looks like a fishing expedition, which means I don't think. I mean, it would be weird for it to be Antonio because he knows. Also, I think it's pretty strange, the whole setup. Right? What was that about? Alex finds a video, Antonio somehow involved, that directly implicates us. How does he find the video? Why do they never called a big meeting about the true witness video. They called a meeting about this bogus video, which they then go and point it to us, right? And then we go find this kid and find this link. It doesn't feel right.
I don't think this link was supposed to be found.
I don't know.
This
Why
is
else
starting to get
put
uncomfortable.
us?
Do you
Um,
need to go change?
Yes. As Arthur slips off to switch back into his true persona, or at least the one he prefers.
I don't know, Flory. It looks like we've been put on this path on purpose. Nobody else wanted to get involved. It directly implicated Artie in a way that meant, and they first thing they said was, "We're only bringing this up because this is in your territory." This feels like it was deliberate, and nobody else volunteered to do anything, right? This. And Valois said he could read minds.
He probably can. He's a Tremere.
Well, I'm sure he can, but there's something about all this that doesn't seem right. Especially since you mentioned the cabaret. Doesn't feel right at all. No.
There's another individual that we are not bringing up.
Feeling better?
Yeah, now that I have my head on straight.
It was a little cockeyed.
And
That's it.
that face has never been comfortable.
This is a Zemus joke, right? Somehow.
Yeah.
Did you do illusions? Was that?
Flesh is like clay in the right hands.
Right. Ooh.
But if there is somebody that knows enough about different things, likes to keep people off their feet for any number of reasons, it's a Malkavian. Where's Lydia? Why wasn't she at the meeting?
A lot of people weren't at that meeting.
Yeah, but no, I'm thinking about my Sabbat days. And the broken mirror likes to play tricks. And if there is somebody that knows enough about everybody, or could, if the myths are to be believed, have visions, foresight, and a particular need to poke at things and people, here's the Malkavians.
There are a number of people I would like to speak with. I'll probably do that.
Yeah, I just don't think we're going to find Antonio anytime soon. But Lydia, I'm curious now.
And Lydia's not the only Malkavian in the city.
I know that, but she is the one that was notably absent. And we don't know necessarily enough about her, whether or not tied to McGill makes sense.
Melvin wasn't there either, right?
No, Melvin did show up. He helped set up the
Yeah.
He set up the projector.
Yeah.
Caleb was there and then left.
Yeah, Melvin basically stayed quiet, I think, for most of the meeting. And then just left when like Yuma, Valois, and the others left. Now, the one who's... So, you are right that Lydia was not there. And that, yeah, Antonio
Left in that weird
literally
way.
vanished
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
meeting.
Was Melchiah there?
No, Micaiah wasn't there.
I didn't
I
think so.
don't suspect the Anarchs.
Yeah, of all the Anarchs, only Yuma was there.
Yeah.
But they got better things to do than play petty games. They have the revolution to buy into.
Those are expensive things, by the way.
Also, if they got caught, Human would break them in so many different ways. It's not worth the effort.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not convinced. I'm getting two different feelings, right? One is that this is not some all-knowing, very, very super well-connected person, because some of this feels very much like fishing. And then it could be somebody who's new or just not that connected who's looking.
If it feels weird, it's milk. Because they are weird.
That's not always true. Sometimes it's one of us.
Could be anything.
But no, this is the proper kindred level of petty.
This is a kindred attempting to do something.
That's
And
what Flory said,
stir-
right?
Stir the pot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Flory said that they're trying to stir the pot, and that feels different, right? I mean, rather than it being like Val out to get you or this, all of that. But Flory, you said it was somebody trying to stir the pot, and that feels different.
It's not Valois, because if they were going to stir the pot, they have plenty of tools to do that isn't involving time.
No, I think he was referring to Val, your Val.
Yeah, you're
No.
That
If
would be a
this
lot
was
bloodier.
if this was Val, like, is this possibly tangentially tied to Val? Yeah, maybe using someone like Alex, Antonio. Or another reason why I suspect Lydia is because Val has always been sweet on that particular little clan.
Or it could be somebody outside who's coming in to try to clear the space.
The problem with that is that they would... That's a possibility. We can put a pin in that. My other thing is... They've been doing this too long to be outside.
Ah, shit.
Who did you piss off that I don't know about?
No. We're going about this all wrong. Fuck.
What?
Who has reason to stir the pot? Who has reason to hold a grudge against the local kindred? Who has
hi,
a reason?
Caleb.
No. Caleb? Nosferatu nonsense? This is close to it. Close. We find the person behind this. We find the person tied to Hetty.
And that doesn't make any sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Why? Hetty has no reason to try to mess up Montreal.
Hetty has reason to mess up this Montreal.
Why? No, she doesn't.
Because right now, things are destabilized. And she wants to keep them that way.
Why? That's not who she is.
Well, yeah, it kind of is.
If no one gets a foothold, it makes perfect fucking sense.
No, that makes no sense. Look, right now, at this moment, the status quo is that nobody has a foothold.
Yeah. And if everyone's pointing fingers at each other, it stays that way.
No, it doesn't. See, that's the thing I think you're missing. Right now, we've had, for like what, a couple of years now, a tranquility. Everybody doing their own thing in their own little neighborhood and in their own yard and not bothering anybody else, going about their business. right? Nobody was trying to take over. Nobody was trying to make any big moves. We were just living. That's it. Now, Flory said, and I trust Flory on this, she knows people, that somebody's trying to stir up stuff. You don't stir up stuff if you want things to not stay the way they are, and where they are right now is status quo. Nobody has power. But if you stir things up, what that means is you're going to push people to start taking over power over the police. You're going to start causing trouble. And what you'll do is you'll wipe out people so someone can come in and become the new prince or whatever. Rather than, if you want to keep this place not centralized, you don't stir up this pot. Stirring up the pot is going to cause alliances and people to start banding together and start doing things, right? Most likely fight each other, which will then clear the board. This is not about keeping everybody quiet, because we're already quiet. It's about clearing the board by causing trouble and sowing distrust between each other.
I
so
still
that we don't.
think it's a possibility.
I don't think it's Hadi.
Makes no sense.
Your arguments, I hear and acknowledge, Rojul, that is an argument. But Hamia is correct that there is no point in this at the moment. This smells of political old school intrigue. And Hadi, again, the question comes back to, who would know about the cabaret?
Right.
That's why I immediately target the Malkavian.
A Malkavian?
I think we're just doing right now what whoever this is wants us to do. They want us to turn on each other.
If nothing else, I need to speak with Lydia just because she's a neighbor.
Yeah. Betty might be the other one, just because I could see her stirring the pot, but I don't think
I
she's
don't
competent
see her
enough.
being... You saw how she wanted to be received by kindred, let alone kind. I do not see her playing that kind of game.
I think Flory's right.
While this conversation is going on and as she's answering, Flory is going to pull out her phone and start looking through just, news feeds, social paparazzi, social media.
Who's shown up in town in the last couple of months, that kind of a thing?
Yeah.
Who's been to the cabaret, perhaps? That kind of
exactly.
a thing?
Or knows the change in management.
Yeah, who knows the change in management, which is a really relatively new thing. And Flory hasn't been in the city. Like, Flory has never
it's very
been
new
in Montreal. So
make a
I mean, could I have no, that's not really gonna work.
I'm gonna say resolve and either academics or technology, because you're searching for information. So academics could work, but also technology, because optimizing your searches and blah blah blah. Could
I use Streetwise instead?
Oh, yes, that would give you different results because you're looking at a specific sphere, if you will.
Yeah, and she's looking through it as paparazzi photos, right? Like, who publicly wits or
still resolve, because it's some. Okay. I feel that this is something that you have to put your mind to it. And sort of power through all of the
noise.
Ignore all the noise and the crappy results.
I just
I succeeded with a messy crit. That's an actual messy.
No, it is not.
No, it's not. It's just
because you're missing the other. Yeah.
The other 10.
Yeah, it's not even a crit. Because you only have you need 2.
That whole system.
I think this dice roller is wrong, is what I'd say.
I'd say the dice roller is wrong. Yeah. I think the dice roller is wrong, but I can't fix it. We don't have the permissions to fix this.
No, but machine. we know We know
Yeah.
the rules now,
So I succeeded. Yay.
Yeah. Paparazzi, big people coming into town. I wasn't quite ready for that, so give me 2 seconds.
Go right ahead. It's fine.
I'm gonna note that he's looking up notes, which means he has this information. That's all I'm noting. Which means we
Yes, but
win.
I don't have like names and
Yeah,
such,
Yeah,
so.
it's all that messy rigmarole.
You know.
That's not recent enough. So part of the noise was like, oh yeah, Irfan Khan and Suraj Sharma were seen in Montreal for a while because Life of Pi was done entirely here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you have, of course, Vin Diesel was here for
Yeah,
Christmas.
there's another Fast and Furious.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence all over the place. You want paparazzi? You've got Jennifer Lawrence, Michael Fassbender, Ian McKellen, Patrick Stewart, Halle Berry.
Oh yeah, what movie is that? Oh,
That was X-Men Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
That was
Uh-huh.
part of their
Yeah.
the filming as well as the tour for promotions.
Yeah,
Um,
it was great.
And some of those people would show up to that cabaret.
Oh, definitely. You would have like
Ian McKellen would go to a strip club. Yeah,
um
Ian McKellen has been to strip clubs.
at the cabaret you would have that was there, and you know that would have been plastered everywhere on paparazzi, but like Jennifer Lawrence and her entourage were there for like maybe like, I don't know, an hour or two or something. Yeah. Like but that's not what you're looking for. You're not really looking for the A-list celebrities necessarily.
No, but
because streetwise, but streetwise, you're looking more at something that would be less
Different
overt.
shakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's noise in they're not major newspapers. They're so we have a newspaper here called fudge. It's not the Jehovah Witness pamphlet. So it's not the Tower, but it's got a name like that. Oh my god, what was it again? Yeah, The Itinerary is the name of the paper. So it's basically a newspaper that is sold mostly by the houseless population.
Yeah.
It has it's built it's created for and mostly by houseless people. It's not going to touch necessarily what the cozy suburbanites that buy the journal in the morning when they go to work and take the subway, because that's where most of them are sold anyway. No, in fact, it talks about more streetwise stuff. And there's a bit of noise in there about be careful, because there's a few, like, a warning by some of the houseless people to other homeless, that, be careful. There are people that are like rummaging through camps. A couple of older houseless people have been roughed up recently, and quite a few are talking about waking up because they feel like someone was trying to bite them. bite them on the leg, bite them on the arms. It was kind of strange. And then they list some of the areas,
Mm-hmm.
and it matches about half the list of interesting, like, vampire places.
Mm-hmm.
So, 1 and 1 together, there's definitely maybe a somewhat careless kindred
Who's
who's
not
been,
connected.
yeah, who just, because from what you know of people here in Montreal, aside from you and your feeding habits, you don't recall anyone feeding specifically on the migrant population. The houseless population.
That sounds new. I don't like new.
Well, it's been here for a couple months. That's more problematic.
Again, but new. And I don't like new.
But that goes back to what I'm thinking, right? The idea that this is somebody, not a big mastermind necessarily, but somebody who's arrived, doesn't know enough.
Yeah, but it sounds like there's somebody new, and whoever it is that's stirring the pot is also targeting them.
So aside from the A-list celebrities that were in those, scream sheets and everything, there wasn't anyone like recognizable. Cool.
None of the well-known kindred personalities. Like Sasha Vikos is not in Montreal.
Thank God.
Yes.
No, because
That's a
otherwise
good
you would have a
thing.
lot of articles about some dude on the street threw his dick at me.
And then the comment underneath is like, and we're not even in Russia. I don't understand.
Mind you, for someone like Arthur, wouldn't Sasha be a good idea to have around?
No.
Dream and all.
Sasha is a problem wrapped in an apocalypse, wrapped in madness.
But yeah, there's none of that that appears to be of who you know in your own circles or who you might have heard of.
Mm-hmm.
It feels, honestly, it almost feels like a new embrace. It's walking around, kind of like what the Sabbat would have done. Knock the guy over the head with a couple of shovels, like a couple of shovel hits, then just let them out to,
An embrace and jump.
Yeah.
That's she's gonna mention that.
Well,
That would be to destabilize us further, right?
yeah, but I'm also just trying to look at the suspects that would actually possibly do such a thing. Of the ones that we know. Well, like I if someone's going to embrace and dump, I don't think that's any of the tower folk, because that's
Well, it could be. If the tower wants to take over, you destabilize, and that gives a reason for them to come in and can take it over.
yeah,
right?
but with Valois in play, all we need to do is take that moron alive, and that leads back, and usually the tower's a bit smarter about that.
I think it's something from the outside. And the reason why I say that is because of Flory. You said, like, they know the cabaret. That means they know things that people inside Montreal didn't know, right? Seems to me somebody is from the outside wants to mess us up.
And the
Or
only
they can
person,
come in.
and she looks at Artie, she goes, and he's not in this city, so we don't care.
No,
Although if he is in the city, does that mean I finally get permission to stab him slowly?
Hey, we find this new
if you can
embrace.
zip time, yeah.
Oh, okay.
If there is a new embrace, and we find that person, we at least can find their clan, right? We know, so we also have to be old enough that they're not going to produce thin bloods.
It depends on Because not every embracing dump, because of how the dump happens, ends up in the blood taking. That's how you get pander. I'm sorry, hated.
Well, we suppose we'd have to find out. But
Well, we know a general place of where to start. We know a bunch of people I'm going to be interviewing. I have some dining to do this evening. Is there anything else pressing? Sorry, I'm a little bit...
You're not you when you're hungry.
Yeah. Like, if Flory had been alive during this whole conversation, you would have heard her stomach growl.
yeah. Hey,
No.
I think this is some kind of outside thing. I think somebody's trying to mess up our city.
An embracing dump is risky bit of business. And also because of the toll that it takes on a kindred to embrace someone is not something done lightly.
You know, there is a other option that might be slightly distasteful to mention, but is nominally a possibility. They know just enough, right? They weren't an embrace and dump, right? They know just enough about where to look, where we were.
That's assuming
Almost
that
like the sire died in the middle. Did we have an embrace and then a sire die on that night of ashes?
but this is somewhat new, right?
Says
Not necessarily
no.
new to the city, but new to the culture.
Yes.
When did this Vargas email first start?
GM. When was the first Vargas emails?
Oh,
To Ezekiel.
the first Vargas email dates back... where is it? 1 month. Actually, 9 weeks ago. 2 months and 1 week ago.
Okay, so 2 months ago.
Yeah, Night Bash was like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, what did the first email say? Do we have the email that reaches out to him? Is it what was it?
It introduces him as the producer of an upcoming reality TV series in Montreal, a sort of candid camera meets Big Brother. He calls himself Mr. Vargas, and he's interested in... he saw Ezekiel. Said, I saw you. You look like the type of candidate that would be, perfect for the show. The way you read the message, even though it's a lengthy message, you get the feeling that it could be the kind of message that's just copy-pasted to a bunch of people to see who bites.
Mm-hmm.
It never talks about pay. It never talks about a contract. It, like I said to Flory earlier, it reads like a scam. Except Zeke replied that he was interested. Because, being on TV and all that.
Flora, you're good with technology, right?
I'm not as good as my Zamati, but I can do a lot.
I mean, I kind of grew up sheltered, Look.
At that, Flory's just kind of gonna go, well, you can't claim my life, my growing up was sheltered. But yeah. No, I embraced technology when I need to.
So, look, if somebody comes to me with a scam, right? Like I'm from X company or whatever, I'm going to look it up on the internet to see if it's a real place. Even if I, maybe I don't do a lot of research or anything, but I might check that. So, is their production company on the internet?
She would have at least done a like a basic search while they were going further, but not more than that at the time. Is there an actual like website for them?
Probably a bogus cheap one, but maybe, I don't know.
Nope.
Make a intelligence technology check. No, intelligence investigation.
Oh, that's at least better. That will be at least better.
Ba-dum-bum-bum. Ba-dum-bum-bum.
Nope. And a bestial failure, because she's really hungry.
Ooh. That is a bestial failure.
Why do y'all get bestial failures when you're searching for someone?
Because you know why? Because they're so tasty.
Yeah.
She's also
Going through all those pictures, there's all those neck shots. It's
They're like, oh hi, oh look. Like there's a lot of
exposed flesh. It's
and it's one of those. Flory was in an enclosed space for a period of time with Lucky, and he was covered in blood, and she couldn't eat any of that. And then she had to come back, and
coagulated.
And even though he's cleaned up now, I guarantee you he didn't scrub with lemon, so he,
He scrubbed pretty hard. He was up there for a long time.
You can still smell the human blood on him. Yeah, and
there's a copper tang to the air.
Yeah.
I imagine he doesn't smell as much. I'm gonna put it this way. I imagine he doesn't smell as much as. I would imagine he smells a lot less than you would think, because he still smells it, right? But I imagine vampires can smell it, but he was very thorough in his cleaning, perhaps as if he were perhaps upset. You know what I mean? By the whole situation.
I
love the orange power is in the shower.
I love this.
The pumice infused.
Okay.
Okay, your bestial failure will trigger your compulsion of tempting fate.
Oh yeah, of course it is.
Never mind searching on the internet or whatever. What the beast wants, what the best way to find this Vargas is? You're gonna go on the street, you're gonna find the guy, you're gonna ram him against the wall in an alley, and you're gonna beat the answers out of him. Because
that's not usually her MO. She watches other people do it, but sometimes it's fun.
Yeah, but you need to do. He's going against your tenets. He's going against what we would call out of game the chronicle tenets. He's putting people at risk. He's not respecting
shit. Shit.
And thin blood or not, someone needs to teach them a lesson. It's not going to be Lucky because you remember what happened. But you're also a little bit jealous, maybe a little bit envious that Lucky got to eat that well.
And realistically, here's the other thing.
Who would miss a vampire that no one knows if you were to feed on them?
Oh no. Oh no. No.
She doesn't feed. She might feed a little bit, but she doesn't kill vampires.
Well, I'm the voice of the beast. I'm just the voice of the beast.
But at the same time, the voice in her head for the beast would be like, "Oh, she'll have a snack and then pack it up and send it home." Then it's takeout for.
It's vacuum sealed.
Yes, it's takeout for Zalmati because if I have a little bit and then he'll enjoy the rest, it'll be fine. It's not like that.
I have an uncomfortable and very visual question.
Yep.
So, is there a particular fetish gear in the RV that is for vacuuming people?
No. Because there's an even better way around. You fetish gear vacuuming is not actually stable or actually enough or helpful. We want to know what you can get really cheap and that you can install in the undercarriage, particularly because you have that garage portion.
Tell.
You can vacuum seal your car to ship overseas to be protected against weather, damage, and it has to be thicker and more stable so that you don't get damage on the car.
Right.
And it's it's a lot cheaper just to install that underneath the RV to protect her 63 Corvette and
Right.
Zalmati's collection of antique motorcycles. The
Yeah.
Indian, by the way, is, the 47 Indian, by the way, is beautiful, and, the detailing is perfect.
And
I've learned a lot.
I think it's on this image of Flory just going fuck it and turning off her phone that we're
Did you find
going
it?
to end tonight's session.
No, she's gonna say fuck. She's gonna look down, say fuck this shit, and go, I have another meeting to get to. I'll see you all later. And she's gonna walk out the door.
But
And we'll pick back up there tomorrow. Wow. Next week.
Next week.
except,
Huh?
after all my remorse.
Yes, we're gonna get to that. Now, oof, y'all. What a session! What a session!
I have
Mhm.
aggravated willpower damage, which does not heal.
It's gonna take a while.
You have to do
It's
something
gonna-
very
yeah.
specific. You have to.
I would like to point out the only reason she is this hungry and has this bestial fail is because she had to clean up after
Mhm.
Lucky's bestial fail.
But that's what's fun.
Mine was a messy
Exactly.
critical, so it's,
It's a
totally different.
cascade.
Yeah. So it's that's
No,
that's
but
what I
the
like.
but the bestial fail is what it precipitated the messy critical.
Mm-mm. It all started with the messy critical. It was my messy critical recognizing Ezekiel that
Okay.
it was yeah. So it was the bestial fails actually were really not that big of a deal because they involved me wanting to eat someone. So and I was going to do
Yeah.
that anyway, but it was all that messy critical that caused that problem.
Let's go check out what's happening in Lucky's psyche for a second.
Okay, I will roll that remorse test.
Yep.
I only get one die.
It's
because,
just a single D10.
and audience. If I fail, I lose a humanity, and I clear all of my stains. If I succeed, because that means I actually just don't feel that bad.
Yeah, if
And
you
like-
fail, you don't feel bad.
I'll be able to rationalize it in some way. And if I succeed, I feel bad, so I keep my humanity.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, also, for people in the audience who've never played and do not know Vampire the Masquerade, you know how in many RPGs you can lose your character when your character dies, and then your character is dead, and then you lose your character.
Mhm.
And in Vampire, we have humanity, and if you lose enough humanity, you also lose your character because your character is no longer.
You become a ravenous beast.
Yeah. The lower your humanity, the less good it is for everyone around you because you don't care
Oh yeah.
that much anymore. You know, I'll roll it. I failed. I lose a humanity and I clear all of my stains.
Yep. So your new humanity is now a 5 instead of a
It is.
6.
Mhm.
Which means for everyone, it's mostly for people watching because we have it in the book, but at this point you've internalized enough pain and anguish and you've begun to accept it as part of your existence. That's what they describe it as. Basically, a 5 in humanity is what you would expect of older vampires, those who've been around the block for like maybe close to a century.
You look a little bit more like a corpse, you know?
Yeah, so the thing about it is that you have problem interacting with humans, period. You have a minus a 1 die penalty to most social dice pool, especially insight and persuade, though I mean intimidation and probably seduction wouldn't count, and it doesn't count when you're hunting or killing a human. And even with the blush of life, you can no longer have sexual intercourse, but you can probably fake it still
But why would you want to?
to feed.
That-
At this
that's-
point, there's you're so far away from human that, it is no longer possible for you. No, it's still possible for you, to keep food down for like an hour.
Yeah.
To
fake it.
To fake it. But again, at this point, why would you? You are literally on the fence, like teetering between more human or more beast.
Mhm.
Any more humanity loss, you become closer and closer to a monster.
Yep. Yep.
And you know what? This kid had it coming anyway.
Well, here's the thing.
He played with fire.
Look, I don't mean to be that way, but there are two things. One, my beast is a gift to protect the community. And if my beast decides to kill someone, my beast knows why. And this kid wasn't even really part of my community, really. So if my beast killed that kid, if the gift killed that kid, well, it was probably the right thing to do anyway.
Mm-hmm. You would know anyway. You're better than them.
Yeah.
You were put in charge of a community because you know what's good for them.
Yeah.
That was just culling the weak. That's what every herd animal would do anyway.
But also, I kind of feel like that kid revoked his membership to our community by betraying us.
Yeah.
That's what he did. He betrayed us.
Now, for Twitch and YouTube, we say kid as a demeaning term.
Yes.
The person's an adult.
Yes, but Lucky is like really old. And
Well,
so
yeah,
people who are
two
under,
immortal
like, 30,
vampires. Like, come on.
You know what I mean? Like when you're a kid, right? Yeah. And I think it's just like, he wasn't even, I mean, he's not a descendant of my town, so he's not really under my protection. And he's working with somebody who's going to try to destroy everything. And so my gift understands, saw it before I did. And I really should just probably trust my gift a little bit more. You know? They know.
And on that, we end tonight's episode. We ran over yet again. I think I'm going to stop trying to see if we run over or not. It doesn't matter anymore. Because in my mind, the entire game tonight lasted an hour and a half max.
Yeah,
I do not know where time went. But I did write about half a page of notes for future references.
I went with Zeke. That's
fair.
So, please, players, tell everyone who you are, where we can find you, and anything you've enjoyed about tonight's game. And for fun, in just a sentence, no more. What do you think is that newcomer coming in town? We'll start with Trooper.
Hey, everybody. I'm Trooper SJP. I have been playing Lucky, who is named Lucky. This is a little bit of a fact you may not know. He's not called Lucky because he's lucky. I mean, he may be lucky, but he's called Lucky because he's happy-go-lucky. You know, he's fairly a good, pleasant individual, and always happy to see people. That's why he's called Lucky.
Are you always happy to see people because they're always for dinner?
Well, sometimes. You know what I mean? Sometimes they're for dinner. He, for those who don't know, the lower humanity, the harder it is to lose humanity, but the easier it is for you to just, you know, give into it and start murdering some people. It's cool. I'm doing well. I will say you can find me, what is today is Monday. You can find me on Thursday on my channel, where I'll be playing The Long Dark. Friday on my channel for some, if you like some RPG action, at 7 p.m. Eastern, I will be playing Rune Quest Solo Quest, continuing my first decade of RPG exploration. So you can see me do some going solo then. And then on Sunday, I'll be playing in The Witcher Roads Home at 8 p.m. Eastern over on Praxagora Mephore's channel, where I happen to play one of the most pleasant and most respectful and least condescending, arrogant characters you've ever met, who is like, and really knows a lot of stuff. I mean, at 27 years old, clearly knows all there is to know about all the things. And I'm sure everything will go really well. And I will give love and joy too. I'm gonna answer this in a slightly different way. I'm gonna give a surprise. That's what I'll do. I would like to give a surprise to Flory via Prax. Prax, yes, right. For Flory's response to the violence. I said this in our DMs a while ago. I said, because there's tension between Flory and Lucky. When we create characters, we create a connection that you have a sort of a more positive connection to, when you have a slightly more negative tension you want to, and they have a little bit of tension about their sires. But she is, and I said, but she's so disarming, right? She can just say the right thing, right? Just the right thing. And he was in a bit of a space after all of that, and she just said the right thing, a thing that sort of diffuses his weird feelings that he was having about what happened. And it was just the perfect thing. And sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's just brutal, but she just has a way to say the right thing to diffuse stuff. And I just feel like she probably gets away with a lot, and I love it. So there's just a lot of joy for that lovely surprise of, I mean, like, do we know that Flory's smart? Absolutely. Do we know that Flory knows how to break into places in and out? Absolutely. But her ability to just diffuse situations so effortlessly was such a lovely moment. And I don't know if anybody else caught it, but it was just this one little line she said when he comes down from the actually after the murder in the CJEF, but also when he came down. There's two little things she said. They were so small, not like even big explosive lines. They were just really perfect. And I was like, that's so good.
Okay, so not the Snickers line.
That one too, actually, but there's like another one as well. They're like, but they're that one and another one were just really, really good. And then my surprise love for Artie is a bit of a conspiracy theorist, and I kind of love it. Like, Artie is like, okay, wait, I've got the board, and yeah, we saw the board, but today we saw it in action in his mind, right? Like, where he's okay, well, these people are petty. This one, like, and there's like the way in which he's like pulling it up. There were these like little moments that give you a sense of a kind of a history that was probably where he needs to be that paranoid to survive, because it's not going to go well, right? And there's just a really lovely little subtle thread weaving, right? Thread spinning that I thought was really, really good, and I love that. And I also appreciate Simon for allowing so much carnage, because there was just a lot of carnage, and I appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
man. Thank you for coming. Deirdre, you're next.
Well, that's me. Let me do the easy part, and then I'll get to the last bit, the more effusive part. So, hey all, you know me. I'm at Deirdre on Twitter, or Praxgorath as me for you. You see me around here on Twitch, your friendly neighborhood Prax. And you can find me next on my channel on Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, as I take over the GM for A Song of Agapia's Fortune, my high-level homebrew D&D campaign. And I'm just going to say, things are complicated. You know, things are complicated. And then on Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on my channel, where I run Witcher Roads Home, and things are also complicated, but now it's, you thought you were going to come to awkward family dinner for, awkward family dinner for you when you came back after 50 years from being gone, and then there's a murder attempt, and a poisoning, lots of poisoning. Also, hashtag alchemy is fun for the GM. You can also check my Twitter, because I was posted where I'm going to be, and the fun, wonderful, fabulous folks like these fine people that I get to hang out with, play with, and tell stories with. You can also check out the games that I write on my Twitter. So if you want to check those out, go right ahead. Tonight, I would like to share a little bit of love, because I loved every minute of Trooper's visceral description of the moment when the beast took over, and then the little subtle shock that he was portraying when he came out of the fact, it's like, oh, I just had a shit ton of dinner. Oh, fuck. And you have this moment where he kind of like looked up, and Flory's like, don't worry, we'll take care of this. Just take your shoes off, and then don't trip. And then get him out. And it was like, okay, focus, 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 focus. And then when she finally can sit down and go, God damn, I'm hungry, and I'm hungry after taking care of this fucker. It's like that's the thought process that's going on. Also, I should warn you that it will be you are probably not going to be as surprised. You will be slightly surprised as her choices, because I'm going to read everybody the official what the bane for the Ravnos is. It's tempting fate. The vampire is driven by their blood to court danger. Haunted as they are by righteous fire burning its way up their lineage, why not? The next time the vampire is faced with a problem to solve, any attempt at a solution short of the most daring or dangerous incurs a 2 dice penalty. Suitably flashy and risky attempts can even merit bonus dice for this occasion. The daredevil is free to convince any fellows to do things their way, but is just as likely to go it alone. The compulsion persists until the problem is solved or until further attempts become impossible. Yeah, have fun, everybody. She's got a plan. It'll be great. I'm gonna have to change my background for next week. It'll be fine. I have plans. Also, I loved when Flory texted Arthur, and her one-line text was, I'm going to have to call an audible. And Arthur's immediate response is, well, shit has hit the fan and is in the intake because Flory is using sports metaphors. I was like, see, this is an understanding that works. And I liked the little subtle moments between the two of them of like, yes, this is a problem, but we're addressing the problem and we know the steps to take and we're working our way through it. And then how can we like sit there and figure things out? So I'm loving every minute of that. I also love just what Simon's doing with this story. It'll be great, and I don't think Simon's prepared for things that will be happening next week. I'm just sorry, Simon.
That's fine.
Yeah, you say that. I've had you as a player. Now you get to deal with it on the other side.
Yep.
But you asked for a one sentence about who Flory thinks the newcomer to town is.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what the answer we were supposed to be asking? Flory had a different answer before that bestial fail. And now it's somebody who's come to start shit. And it's somebody who's come to start shit in a way she hates, because it's all political spying and all of this shit. You know, it's like when a Ravnos is going to stir the pot, the Ravnos just walks up to Elysium and just sits down or calls a bunch of Roma and has a bunch of Roma show up and take over the city. You know, really public stuff. Malkavians usually do something really public. This is like political bullshit and she's not here for it. So she's, you know, it's like someone wants to spring a trap. Someone wants to make a trap and this whole complicated plot. I'm done with the complicated plot and I'm going to spring this trap and make a big old mess of it. So that's what she's going to do. She doesn't really care anymore.
All right. Well, we'll see about that in a week. Thank you for coming, Pope. You're up.
Arthur cares, and that's going to be a problem. Hey, everybody, Pope here. Pope World on Twitter, Pope World on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams. First business, then pleasure. If you want to see more of this ridiculous face, you get a number of opportunities throughout the week. Pretty much just follow wherever Prax, Trooper, or Simon are, because I follow around like a pug puppy. And yeah, you can catch me over on Praxis Thesmophoria for more of Song of Agapia's Fortune, as things are not necessarily as messy, but as complicated, if not more so, than what's going on here. And then the less caring, more brutal of the characters I'm portraying is on Sunday for Witcher Roads Home. As there's going to be a trial and there are going to be consequences, and that's on top of the necrophages that are plaguing Mahakam. So come for that disaster and then be back here on Monday to see how a murderous daredevil Ravnos handles things when they're hungry.
She's going to look like Liza Minnelli. I'm just saying.
No. Like right now, I'm just going. So Goth Jane Mansfield just decided to set Montreal on fire.
It's from the outside, it'll look like the Ravnos came into Montreal, and then trouble started happening. And from within, it's not necessarily Flory that did it. But that's what it looks like. It's just, it contributes to the vicious circle of their reputation.
Stereotypes exist for a reason.
Hashtag not the Ravnos' fault.
Today.
Clearly, it's some.
No, the only reason
fault.
I was this hungry is because of the brouhaha.
Well, I mean,
Today.
the gift, the gift.
So first conspiracies, then love. As for who is here, there's kind of a twofer, honestly, because we have whoever's praying, and I'm gut instinct is kid didn't get embraced properly, so it's a pander. Cative.
Mm-hmm.
Old habit stuff.
Yeah.
I
hadn't heard that name in a while.
I don't think it's thin blood either. That's why I'm saying pander. Because no, this is somebody who's strong enough in the blood and just went and dumped them. And yeah, because a thin blood wouldn't be praying that often. But proper vampire, yeah, that makes sense. And there's a problem when it comes to panders, folks, because their gifts of the blood are all the ones that allow them to survive and feed. So that's going to be fraud. As to who let this loose, if they're new, this smells of two clans. The smells of either a Malkavian, because chaos be fun, yo. Or if we're stirring the pot good and proper, this is a Ventru. I hate Ventru. All caps.
There's a reason Flory asked to go through the, if there was anybody she visually recognized in all of those paparazzi.
I hate Ventru.
So does Flory.
But love, Simon, every game should have monologue tokens, and thank you for pressing Trooper for that amazing sort of just internal ride home. Because I could, as Trooper, you were in it, I could see Lucky in the back of the car, the lights of the city passing by his face as all these thoughts were just coming through. And that was an absolutely beautiful moment. I love that so much, because so often when it comes to these stories, we focus so much on the visceral moment in it, and oftentimes it's sessions later that we try to address the internalization of what has happened. And since it's not in that moment, it loses impact. But here, the timing was beautiful, and that moment was so intense and so illustrative of what these stories should be. And then Flory being an absolute pro about everything in a crisis moment, and then still in problem-solving mode even after the fact, to the point of it possibly causing a problem, is something I think is very illustrative of that character, of who Flory is, as she was brought in here to do a job, and she is going to do it, hell or high water. It's just hell has come, and we're going to see what that means. And then Simon just you went there with everything between the blood, gore, and then the problems. Because when you've lived this long, it's not problem, it's problems, Betty. Problems, plural. And the layers of this, and the you think it's the big stuff that's tied into you. No. There's so much more outside of the selfish nature of the kindred that then causes you issue. And when you are dealing with all the distractions, that's when the personal shit happens. And you're not prepared for it. And just the anticipation is palpable. So yes, I am here for all the love, and definitely come here, watch what these people do, because these are some of my favorite stories. And thank you all for being here to share in them. Where live on YouTube, a story is nothing without its audience. You're much part of this as we are. Take care of yourselves and one another. See you around.
Thank you for coming. Thank you everyone for being here. Taking time off of your Monday evening to come take part of this in this vampire story of mine. Before I do my spiel and everything, I just want to share something with chat because I thought it was hilarious, which is the Vampire the Masquerade book's description for someone with 2 points of strength. I just stumbled upon it earlier. Here it is in chat. And I thought that just the way they wrote it is perfect. You are physically average, 45 kilos, a toilet. Like, you are a toilet.
Well, we know that the writer's room for this game has changed significantly.
So, that said, I am Simon at Wandering DM. You can find me here every Monday for Vampire the Masquerade. Montreal by night. You can also find me... Oh no, it's over. You can find another show on this channel, because I'm no longer playing on Wednesdays. But on Thursday, we're going to have our finale for Hill Country Horror, the quietest horror game, GM'd by Marlo Bogwitch, of which I produce. I am not on camera, but I'm the ghostly voice that sometimes you can hear when tech goes bad. Then on Saturday, 1 p.m., we're back with Scion. We've leveled up everyone to Demigod this week. They have like 24 new powers each. It's unbelievable. It's going to be very interesting in how the game is going to shape up, because it's going to change how we play the game, basically, down to like the core of it. Then I will be back on Witcher very, very soon. I'm keeping it a surprise, but I'll talk with Frax. Yeah, I've already sent you a couple of messages, but yes, as my writing schedule finally eases up. That said, yeah, I am lead narrative designer at Flyos Games. You can find, actually, the game that we're playing tonight, the Montreal by Night, is actually going to be released. It's called Vampire the Masquerade Chapters, and it has like all the new canon Montreal city with all the vampires and everything in it, post Sabbat, basically. And the game is currently in production, as in manufacturing, and the boxes are going to be hopefully soon on well, at home for those who kickstarted it, and on retail for those who want it. You can take pre-orders at your local friendly gaming store. There's also something very, very cool coming up soon. If you were at Gen Con, you saw me run Werewolf the Apocalypse. So if you like werewolves, keep an eye out. Something's coming very soon Very, very soon. And then otherwise, well, thank you, everyone.
Can I guess what it is?
You can, but I am not allowed to say anything or even have facial expressions.
You said something's coming, right?
Yeah.
So it's clearly a West Side Story game, right? Because, could be, who knows, something's coming.
I
Where did it
cannot
go?
have any
Wow.
facial expression. I
That's
cannot
it.
give away anything.
Confirmed.
Could
we're getting
be,
So-
who knows?
we're getting a West Side Story game, everybody. Confirmed. We know
So
it.
thank you for coming, everyone, and we will see you next week. Bye bye.